Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on when or where you're watching this from. I am AJ. This is Meg. And welcome to episode 127 of the Code Crown podcast. I have a co-host now. This is fun. I hope. Hi, Iker.
You get to educate me more than anything.
Oh, well, I get to mansplain at you, is it?
Yes.
I get to mansplain. Okay.
Mansplain, yes. Mansplaining is okay.
Mansplaining is okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Hello, Iker. Good to see you. It's been a couple of weeks. It's been a week. There was a week gap. 2 weeks. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So 2 is a couple. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So welcome. Oh wait, hold on. The mic was still off. Whoops.
Whoa, okay.
Okay, so now, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on when or where you're watching this from. I am AJ.
I'm Meg.
And you were through to episode 127 of the Code Crown podcast. Live. We're doing it live, pal. I have a co-host now, and I've kind of used this joke a couple of moments ago, but, well, this thing was off, so I'm going to use my jokes again. Thank you very much. Thank you all for watching. Iker, good to see you again. Is it Xenoblade Day? Is it? Is that a thing? Did Xenoblade...
4th of October, is that a thing?
Is that when Xenoblade 2 came out? Or was Xenoblade 1? I don't remember, but awesome. Hope you're having fun. Just bought Xenoblade 2 Torn of the Golden Country. Xenoblade, it's an X, not a Z. Anyway, so nitpicking aside, welcome to our watch-along and review of episode 3 of Digimon Ghost Game, Scribbles. And it doesn't sound like a... it really doesn't sound like a spooky title at all, but...
No, it sounds like an episode of, like, artists drawing things or something.
Yeah, so... so the usual... the format isn't going to change, much. We're still going to be watching this and reacting to it. Chat will be empty without Meg in it. No, Meg is still doing moderation duties while we do this. I'm still here. Fair enough. See? So there we go.
Yeah, sometimes the mic doesn't like me anyway, so I'll have to type.
Well, they picked you up there, fair enough. Hey, Clatter, thanks very much for joining in. Welcome along. So,
I'm not used to looking at the camera.
No, yeah.
Chat, hi.
No, you look there.
It's very bright.
It is very bright, but we do need the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
So, how's everybody doing? Did you miss me? I feel like Moriarty. Did you miss me? Did you miss me? But it's been a good 2 weeks, right? I hope you guys enjoyed the tier lists I put out. Reception seemed to be good to those. You guys changed the time. Change? No.
You moved to a cave.
Audio is very echoey, is it?
Yeah, I live in a cave.
Can you pump it up there and we'll just check? Is it?
Whoa!
Oh, God. Okay, that might be... Oh, God. Why is that now? Hey, Pedja, hold on, give us a second here. Let me just check the video capture devices and make sure that they're not using mics. Capture audio, use custom device. I'll just turn that off. Did that work? Work? Kind of. It did. I think.
Okay, so my webcam was...
It was
picking it up
doubling.
as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Meg's webcam was doubling up on the audio. Okay.
My webcam just wants to be the number one webcam, the number one microphone.
Yeah. Oh God. Like the trouble. Like you would think setting up 2 separate webcams wouldn't be an issue. But my potato is going to be my potato, which is getting replaced next week. But hey Justin, but to sort of answer Clatter, it's not that we changed the time that we started at, just we ran a bit late. My co-host had to put their face on, and she's totally cool with that. She says, "Blame me."
Yeah.
She told me to throw her under the bus for the chat,
It was me.
offer her up as a sacrifice. So, you know, so this is my co-host's fault. We will have that fixed for next week, won't we, Meg?
We will. It would help if someone had told me what time we were starting at.
Oh well, you know, we did have to have dinner and stuff. So, you know, life finds a way. But the magic of live television, we're here now. So let me just have a look at the chat first, and we'll get started. Did you purchase the Sora Smash DLC? I already had the Fighter Pass, so I got him anyway. And if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see I did put stuff up related to Sora. So there's your incentive. Go follow me on Twitter. Then the... hey, Justin, thanks for making it. Desmond, thanks for making it. I know who's going to be your favorite character of the day. Well, I guess we'll see. I mean, Gamamon is baby, and I'm really enjoying Gamamon so far.
He's just a fit.
Isn't he? Speaking of, we don't actually have the scoreboard up yet, so I'll get the scoreboard opened up.
Oh, that's gonna.
No, we're fine. Oh, did you see that? It's two of them. That was weird. You're loving my goggles? Thank you. I think they go well with the Digivice V, huh? Cool. So I have our score sheet up here. So we'll be doing our usual rank and file afterwards. And then there was another comment. Pedja says, "Are you going to read comments from the tier list videos?" I am, because because on the first tier list video I read the comments from the previous podcast up to what was there, and I said, well, what the next live edition, or when I was recording afterward, if there was anything new, I'd fill in the gaps. There wasn't, so we'll go back and we'll have a look at comments that I haven't seen since the first tier list. I think that's only fair. I hope they make a Gamamon plush soon. Copying Tai. These aren't Tai Chi goggles. These are more in line with Takuya goggles than they are Tai Chi goggles. Tai Chis are like circular. Where Takuyas were more square. Okay, you go ahead. So yeah, kind of. Ooh, I bet that sounded nice. So kind of what I was getting to before. Our process isn't going to change here. We have the episode loaded up on Crunchyroll. We're gonna watch along with you guys. We're gonna talk about the episode. We're gonna review it, and then when we're done, you know, we'll hang out, chat, have some banter with the chat, read your comments and things, and then we'll get ready to GTFO. So you know, everything stays the same. We just have a lovely new addition. Get my hands back in the in the frame here.
Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah, Animal. Yeah. What's my favorite Digimon game? Oh, Dusk, Dawn or Dusk. That series. So we'll try and play those once I get the new computer, because you can't purchase those anymore. So I don't feel bad emulating. So we'll play those, and mechanically they work kind of like Cyber Sleuth. So. It'll be fun, you know. It'll be gameplay that we're used to, just DS-ified.
Oh, are they the ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the ones we tried like a couple of months ago, and just laptop said no. Faction. Oh yeah, that is on iTunes and Spotify now. Right, so it's all I've been listening to. Faction. It's on iTunes and it's on Spotify. So I've basically just had it on loop. Is that because they're the Savers cameo ones? Wasn't that Digimon World DS? Weren't the Savers cameo ones the ones before Dawn and Dusk? That was just Digimon World DS that they showed up on? I hope they make a Gamamon plush. They do have a life-size Gamamon plush, and I don't know if it's just for promotional purposes, but I want one. Speaking of, where is Wormmon?
Wormmon is all the way there.
Excuse me. I do. We can't do this without the star of the show, right? He doesn't really fit into the frame as much here, but hi. But yeah, no, I do want the giant Gamamon plush. That would be amazing. This episode has a lot of creepy stuff in it, and I'm finally playing Doki. Oh, awesome. I know it is the DS ones, but suppose it could be. Yeah, I think it's Digimon World DS as opposed to Digimon World Dawn and Dusk. But yeah, no, Wormmon. Can you sit there? Yeah. Yeah, Meg can mind Wormmon because he'll stay in her shot. So we're gonna hit play on this and get started. So I guess I'll count us in. Yeah. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wanted to use the other finger, I really did, but I'll be nice. Let's go.
Alright.
Right, so we're... Is it gonna let me do it from the Toei cat?
Oh.
Yeah, okay, so we're at the Toei cat. I just don't know what fell there. I feel like Dusk had a better beginning. If I'm not mistaken, Masaru Yoshino and Tomo were in Dawn and Dusk as legendary tamers in the... Oh, okay, maybe that is it. I thought they were like a bonus mission at the end of Dawn at the end of Digimon World DS, but again, I'm open to correction. And thankfully the mic isn't picking up faction, which is great, because that means no copyright claims.
It would have to be so. Keeps to come back.
Alright. I just want a Digimon centered only game without human. Oh, that was Digimon World 4? It was the one where they all carried 3? The one where they all carried weapons. Right? People did not respond well to that. Yeah, Ruri's green outfit is. It's quite chic. Did the kids say chic?
I don't think.
On point. On point.
Emoji.
Flame emoji. Oh, it's fire. Straight fire. That's. Oh, I can't say straight. I still think Tesla Jellymon is like the weirdest name.
Yeah.
Like, are we gonna get what's his face? Yeah, are we gonna get like Edison Kuramon or something? I prefer Final Fantasy. What series better, Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts? I haven't played Kingdom Hearts yet. I've bought them so that I could play them. They're sitting over there, so we will be doing that over on Twitch soon. Honestly, don't blame Kyoshiro for being scared when Jimon ran past him in the opening. No. Her earring just got shattered. Oh, okay, someone's just dead. Someone's just dead. Okay. Or maybe not. Oh, okay. Well, okay, grand. So no one died in that car crash. Hey, B-Master, thanks for joining in. I do love Ruri's bow phone holder.
Case,
yeah, like her phone case thing. Wish she digivolve into Ranamon than another jellyfish.
Did that one only affect his bike?
Yeah, that's what I was just wondering, like, did his bike just lose a wheel? Because that's hardly the worst. You just go, oh, well, that's an inconvenience, but I can get a new wheel. As opposed to, oh no, my legs are gone. I make crossovers based on Digimon. Awesome. Photo deleted. These cans open well. Oh. Love a good piano segment. When we get Yoshino and Ruri doing a piano duet, that'd be amazing. I might need to commission that.
Weird for me.
A little bit. She's like 12.
It's a pretty dress. Adults cosplay Tai Chi.
And it gets weirder the older I get. Oh. Scribbles on her fingers.
Pretty nails.
Not
Well,
anymore.
Not anymore.
Those nails are gone. A duet, maybe maybe Yamato's harmonica. Fallen victim. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. It looks like Groot and Sackboy had a baby. Actually, that's an awful image. I'm sorry. That is an awful visual.
I made it, not you.
Her friends are worried about her. That's cute. Yeah, she's very fashion forward. Sadako, is that you? Oh my god!
No, it's that kid in the locker.
Oh. I'm gonna be killed by my own hair. Now that's a line of dialogue. Have I played Three Houses? Yeah, there's a whole playthrough of it on the channel.
It's like that episode of The Simpsons when Homer got Snake's hair.
Yes. Oh.
Can she see those purple circles?
I don't think so.
For our benefit.
That's just our benefit, yeah. All the victims, man. Digimon are very dangerous. In this show, they definitely are.
Oh.
Which I like. I do like that, like, Digimon are, you know, an actual threat in this series. Gonna go eat lunch. Enjoy your lunch, buddy.
Being killed off by your own hair. Not a good way.
No, not really. Owie. That's her friend, is it? Maybe I should get this cut then. I don't want to be killed off by my own hair.
Got it, you'll be.
Oh shit! Okay, well. Right, chat, you all heard that, right? Violence. Threats of violence.
I said nothing. That was Wormmon.
Don't you bring my baby into this.
Like the hair.
Don't take her side. Oh, now it's her whole. That would be any other smart. That can't be a real smartphone. It'd be smashed by that. That'd be smashed from that alone. Sometimes feel like
But she has pink and purple.
Aw, no tears. It would be a smash phone. Yeah, it would be a smash phone, yeah. Some phones I feel like they break if they even look at concrete. Need to find her a partner of her own. We're working on that. I haven't mansplained the franchise enough to her yet. So how does that work? So when she wears the gloves, she can press the piano. When she doesn't wear the gloves, she can't.
I don't know, because she could hold her phone, no problem.
While wearing the gloves, yeah. Here's a woman's powerful weapon. Oh, God. Her doll thing is gone.
Good.
God. Oh no. Hero just slipped into her DMs. Jeez, man. Just go with Invisible Man logic. Yeah, I guess.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Running to in the mud.
Oh, maybe, yeah. They're sorting this out and Dreamers is just happening on another part of town. I do like, you pointed this out, I do like that Angoramon's whiskers make it look like he's just always blushing.
Yeah. The fact that his hair is down.
He's really shy.
Oh.
Yeah. Rocco Psycho. I like that that's just like one of his catchphrases. I'm Gamamon! It's like, I haven't shown you I haven't shown you Digimon Adventure Abridged properly yet. But one of the running jokes for Gabumon, and even the evolutions, is that they're basically a Pokemon. And it's like, I'm Gabumon! And that's like, hey, guys, guess what? What? I'm Gabumon! And it just reminds me of that. Like, probably shouldn't, but... Sorry while I talk to your ghost rabbit here. Gamamon! Alright, Clatter. Look, thanks very much for joining in. We do appreciate it. Have a good day. Work is rarely fun, so I at least hope time goes by quickly for you. Yeah.
Do you have a weird English name? Drac?
No, it's just
No.
Dracmon, yeah. Now the U...
Because sometimes they do that. They want to do Lacamon or something.
Yeah.
You know?
No, his yeah, no, it should just be Dracmon. I'm not sometimes the U gets added in, sometimes it doesn't. This franchise is never
pronunciation
consistent.
thing.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like when I was
Mm.
and for some reason I kept calling him Gachimon.
Oh yeah, because
But they pronounce it like that.
Yeah. Gachi.
Aw.
Look at him. He's just hugging the ghost. Or he's just hugging him. God damn it, Gamamon. Stop being the best, will you? Sometimes Drakemon.
Drakemon.
That's just Rory's perspective. He's just hugging air. She's like, what is going on? That's good. You actually see that shot from Rory's perspective.
Yeah.
Like, Gamamon is just hugging air. That's amazing. Hey, it's the best character. Careful now, Hormon will get jealous. Does the smartwatch you're wearing ward off evil? In a sense.
I guess so.
In a way. Oh my god, he's gonna think it's like the strongest talisman ever, isn't it? And he's gonna I could see the relationship with him and Jellymon now.
Already picking.
Oh, she's already picking on him, yeah. But I reckon it's gonna be one of these things where she's very like overprotective of him. Although Rory hugging Gamamon there, that was cute. How did he know which one of those was for her? Because remember when he was putting the chips into his own one and it kept like, back up only. Back up only. Did he just went, well, Angoramon is kind of yellowish. Let's go with this one. Could he just color code it? Imagine he brought the wrong chip. Joshua isn't wrong for thinking that. No, he's not wrong. Just not in the way he thinks. You give off bad vibes. That's his catchphrase as well, that I take it. I'm gonna make you go kaboom. Okay. Ow! Ow!
I was just gonna say he's gonna get his teeth out and then he did.
Yeah.
Is he talking while Gum?
Yeah. That's not bad logic. The Dracmon is just like, yeah, no, I'll just give the Digivice to an awful human. It'll be grand. I actually like the logic. Oh. Oh man, we're only 3 episodes in and we're already getting the villain hero arc.
Well now.
Well. Oh! Oh! Punch in the face. I'm Gamamon. Lovely. Hey, Reiko. Thanks for joining in.
Reiko. Hi, Jackie.
Oh, Jackie's here too? Awesome. Poor Gamamon. Jeez.
You need to punch him in the face.
So I'm definitely getting like Renamon, Gaumon vibes from Angoramon. You haven't seen season 5 yet, so Gaumon means nothing to you,
No.
but just because she can see you now doesn't mean you can hold him back.
But she can punch him in the face.
She can punch him in the face, yeah. Actually, if we got 2 seasons in a row where the main female character will beat the shit out of you, I'd be super happy. I don't know if I should feel bad that Gamamon got punched in the face or laugh that he got punched twice.
for a good reason.
It was for a good reason, but I think the funny part is him getting his senses back and going, "Oh, I'm Gamamon." Oh, it's a good episode.
Mm.
Oh, 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 my ribs. Oh,
Definitely not out of him.
yeah. We're 3 Fs in and already have 2 returning villains. We'll have a Sinister 6 at this rate wanting revenge. Yeah, like, to be fair, in Cross Wars, Drachmon was a partner. Double Larry? Oh, clotheslines for everybody. Bong. It's morphin' time!
Ew,
Yeah.
that was gross.
So who's taller, Renamon or Angoramon? Oh, Angoramon by a mile. Angoramon is giant. Aw. I think she looked better with all the hair. So that's 3 episodes now where we don't kill off the villain of the week. So fluffy. I think I like you. Aw.
No. Puppy.
So crime and punishment is determined only after the dust settles. Oh.
Ugh. You stop opening eyes in your hand. The guy from
Side.
Pan's Labyrinth.
I don't think he learned his lesson. No. No, so that's him and Clockmon that have potential to come back later.
Mummymon's on, like, kind of.
Mummymon's in a hospital right now learning about biology, I guess. Okay. I do like this ending theme.
Visuals.
Yeah, no, they are. I love them. I love these two so much already.
You know what? He's like Benny from the Mummy. You know, when Imhotep is coming towards him and he's got the keychain and he's saying all the
is
different
Benny
things.
from the Mummy. Yes.
He's like, Christianity? No.
No.
This one? No.
He's just saying all the prayers as he goes through the
Yeah.
different talismans. Yes. Oh my god, yes, he is just Benny. There's some really neatly designed pumpkins.
Oh.
Yeah. All our pumpkins are back that way. Oh god. Was that visual there of Pumpmon stabbing into the pumpkin? I'm like, I hope that wasn't on Hero's head while he was stabbing into it. Jeez.
See how you like it.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks good.
And then the Crunchyroll VTuber, who I've no care in the world for. So, right, hold on. Let me just stop the cast here. Because we don't, so, mind his ears, yeah. So I really liked the episode.
That was very good.
It was very good. I think it's, I think it's, I don't want to say weaker.
Faster.
Yeah, it was definitely faster than the other ones. Like, they definitely got to the point a lot quicker. It didn't feel as dragged out as the other two. I'm not sure if I kind of I think I prefer Hiro and Gamamon meeting over Rurian and Goramon meeting.
Yeah, but then again, his one had to be bump.
Yeah,
He was the first one to.
yeah, no, and he was. I think it's a much more emotional meeting compared to, hey, you're a big brother now. Okay, thanks, bye. But we didn't get. I was kind of hoping when everyone met their partners that the delivery Black Tailmon would show up.
No, yeah.
And I'm kind of disappointed, like that. Maybe it was the one to deliver the DIN card or something.
Yeah.
It was something. So I do. I hope we. Yeah, I do hope we see delivery Black Tailmon again because it's such a funny bit.
But I guess that was more.
Maybe sending a digital stork.
Yeah.
Why not just send a Swanmon or something? But yeah, sure.
Then we wouldn't have.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, yeah, we wouldn't have delivery Tailmon. So let's see. Justin says, I will say Angoramon kind of reminds me of Gabumon since he likes to listen to Ruri play piano. Yeah, that's true. I mean, Gabumon was a big fan of Yamato's harmonica. So that checks out. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good reference or little wink and nod kind of thing. I mean, Lalamon, I know, again, Season 5 doesn't mean anything to you right now, but Lalamon used to like listening to Yoshino play the piano as well, so it's an ongoing thing. Crack knuckles for a second. Kind of hope it does. But, yeah, I don't know, like, it's certainly a faster episode, and I think that's good because you don't want everyone the rest of the cast getting to their partners to take another 5 episodes. By the looks of the preview for next week, I don't think Kyoshiro and Jellymon are going to meet.
No,
I don't think so. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be something similar to Applemon's Halloween episode. Where it's a seasonal episode, it's kind of fillery just to breathe.
Are there going to be dogs in costume? That was my favorite part of that episode.
There might well be dogs in costumes.
I love the dog. That big angry one. Episode when...
Oh yeah.
Or no, it's in Avimon, the map, when the map is leading them to the wrong place, and the guy goes through an alley and there's just big like bulldog and it's just so serious just staring at him. It's the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, Appmon spoilers, I guess.
No, that's not.
No, I guess not. Yes, the faction life is good. So I don't think Kyoshiro and Jellymon are going to meet next week, but I wonder if they're going to follow a pattern. Will Angoramon evolve and then Kyoshiro and Jellymon meet, and then she evolves? Or do we think maybe in episode 5, Kyoshiro and Jellymon meet up, and then the team is together?
I don't think they can push it out too far.
No.
But they can still get another episode.
Yeah, oh god,
Thinking he's haunted.
Oh,
yeah.
I just thought of that. The Kyoshiro... Kyoshiro's going to be in overdrive because it's a Halloween episode and it's spooks and ghouls and oh my god, the potential there is amazing.
I hope they... He's just overboard with like a million talismans.
Yes! Oh, that's so good. Likely a couple of weeks before Kyoshiro's ep, and Goramon will likely get an evolution one first, and I don't think it'll be next week. No, I don't think it'll be next week. I think next week's going to be very fillery, just because it's a seasonal episode, and it does make me think we're going to get a Christmas episode as well.
Yeah.
Which will be fillery again, which is fine. I don't mind seasonal episodes because it somewhat implies that the timeline of the show is matching real world timeline. And I think I don't want to bring it up again, but I think Appley did that as well for a while, and then it went, no, we can't keep this gimmick up.
The Halloween episode is actually...
Yeah, the Halloween episode is actually on the 31st, which is great. Oh, fun.
I mean, you have goggles.
Yeah, I have goggles and a Digivice. I'm good. Give me my. That's it.
There you go.
This is my Halloween costume. Angoramon is strong. Yeah, he's a big strong boy. Matthias, good to see you. I wonder what they're going to do with Digimon like Clockmon or Dracmon that will continue harming humans. I can't see these kids killing their enemies. I think eventually they'll have to. I think it'll be handled better than 02 did it. Where sometimes it's just an inevitable thing, where you have to do it. The pro to this is that Digimon can at least be reborn. Adventure had a rule where if they died in the real world they couldn't, but that doesn't necessarily have to translate.
Yeah, true. Those games.
Exactly. New universe, new rules. But I think eventually, like with stuff like Clockmon and Dracmon, and if villains do come back where they're eventually you kind of have to put them down, don't you? Like if they become more of a threat than they were before. And I think Clockmon was definitely scarier than Dracmon.
Oh, definitely.
You
don't want them to.
Yeah.
Like Dracmon is kind of like kid pulling pranks, but then he's going to be.
Yeah, Dracmon being Clockmon's henchman, that's kind of scary in its own right. Yeah, no, that's cool. They'll return and a harsh lesson will be learned in that ep. Can't forgive forever. Even Henry compromised with himself on this. Yeah, that's true. Like even Henry. I can never remember his Japanese name because it's in Chinese and I'm always afraid I'll butcher his name.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Terriermon's partner.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even he eventually sort of had to compromise with himself on that. So
Were they not just calling him Lee?
Jean Lee, there we go.
Yeah.
Jean Lee, yeah.
Call him Lee.
They just call him Lee. I think that's what the show did, yeah.
Sorry, I just noticed Henry.
Yeah.
I was noticing that in the subtitles as well. They couldn't decide which way to spell her name.
Yeah.
It was Ruli, it was Luli.
Yeah, well her social media thing is like Lily Run or something. It's but it doesn't help that the subs are calling her Ruli, but official art says Ruri. Louise. There we go. Actually, that would I could see Luli or I could see Luli being a dub name because they'll just further
Lulu,
butcher.
Lulu's already in it.
Yeah, but because of the Eleanor thing, I could see them further butchering the name and calling her Luli, as opposed to Laurie, Louise. Let's not worry about a dub. Digimon hasn't cared about a dub since Cross War Season 2. You want to watch anything else? It's on Crunchyroll subs, and that's all we're getting. Try is an outlier, but Cross War Season 3, Applemon, Adventure 2020. We're not getting dubs. We're not getting dubs anymore. It's cheaper for them to just do this.
And he's in the Korean now continues.
Yeah.
The same in Korean when I was trying to learn in some words there. It's literally like
oh gosh.
Like when you're trying to roll your R and sometimes it's easy to sound.
Oh.
But yeah. Well, Henry.
You're more au fait on it. You've watched it more recently.
Yeah, but stops.
Oh right, yeah. Okay, fair enough. Okay.
I guess because my potato.
Okay. Well, we'll have to. I hate that we're cheap. Yeah, they'll take our money for merchandise and stuff, but they won't put it into a dub for us. Boo. I like, and I'm kind of sad about that in a way, because I honestly thought with the card game coming out that they would do a dub to promote the card game.
That and like children on this side of the world, their parents have money.
Yeah, no, true, but I mean,
you dub that, you put it on.
But Taichi and Co were such recognizable characters that it made sense to do a dub of Adventure 2020 at least.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got a card game you want to promote, and you don't want just our age group buying the card game because we're the ones with the Crunchyroll subs and, you know, the disposable income. Where if you have a new anime on TV, little Jimmy's going to want cards as well. But then again, with supply issues, I don't think it really matters at the moment, because nobody's buying cards at the minute with supply issues. Feel bad for Bandai with that. That's not their fault.
No paper. Oh, never mind cards.
Yeah, that's true. There's no paper in Europe at the moment for books to be printed on. Never mind trading cards. So, the next 6 to 8 months are going to be kind of sparse, I think. Let's see, chat. One thing I didn't understand in 02 was Taichi's team killed Digimon before. So why was Ken considered evil when he did it? Ken was considered evil because he made them slaves. And because he had a history as the Digimon Kaiser, when he started killing Control Spire Digimon, they didn't know they were Control Spire Digimon. They just thought, oh, he's evil again. And destroyed Ken just destroyed everything. You know, Ken was indiscriminate. The card distribution is the only thing they can fault on the pandemic. Yeah, let's be fair. A lot of actors now have home recording studios. They could just record from home, you know.
Editing thing, if the audio didn't kind of mix it up.
Yeah. Have you noticed the color difference of the digital effects on Dracomon's tricks from the episode 3 preview and the actual episode 3? I didn't. I'll have to go back and look at those. Thanks for pointing that out, Jackie. Desmond, other JRPG games also have that problem too, with no dub, especially from games they have an English cast for. Yeah. I suppose, like, it's funny in a couple of ways, because there's games where they'll have an English dub, right? You take something like Code of Princess, right? When that came out on the 3DS years and years, I think like 2011, 2012, that came out on the 3DS. It had Japanese audio and it had English audio. And then when they re-released it for the Switch, they went, no, we don't want to pay the licensing cost for the English dub. So that's just not happening with this version. But I also think with an English dub, unfortunately, 9 times out of 10, and I understand I'm not saying it's everybody, like it's a loud minority, you're going to get the, oh, English dub sucks, why even bother? And if you do that enough, these companies are going to go, why are we bothering? And then you just don't get English dubs for things. I mean, from anime to game, well, yeah, but that could also be licensing issues. English contracts could just be you only are the voice for the anime, and then they have to sign a new contract with the studio for recording a video game. Like, it really, something like that really comes down to contracts, I think. Where I think it's why Japanese voice acting is so expensive. Because if you look at even in Digimon, if you look at the crossover that happened in season 6, a lot of the characters aren't voiced. Like, Takato is there and he's like, oh, I'm a tamer, and this is my partner Guilmon. Guilmon just sits there, right? Then you have Masaru's Agumon, who had 2 lines a couple of episodes before as Shine Greymon, says nothing. So I think that's why they're so expensive.
Because the other Agumon.
Yeah, but you could still have Masaru's one. But like in that,
yeah, he talked, but
but Taichi's Agumon talked, but Taichi's Agumon also is the voice of Shoutmon. So she's getting paid twice.
Yeah.
So I'd say their contracts are a bit different, where it's like you're involved in this project and it's expanded media, where dubbing contracts are more, you're just contracted for these 26 episodes or whatever, and then we have to pay you more on top of that. Yeah. I'm hazarding a guess. I'm willing to be disproven on that. But damn, this episode 3 was really good. Another episode that pushed me to making a drawing of the antagonist. This will have me drawing for months. That's awesome, Reiko. Yay. Your drawings are fab.
They're so good.
Keep up the great work. This is why I hate our. This is why I hate our dub haters. They're just so poisonous. Yeah, Gomamon had lines just because he shares a VA with Takuya. Exactly. Yeah, you had Takuya's voice actor in there, and even in that clip, Takuya is talking at like he's talking a million miles an hour. And when he shows up, he's like, "Hi, my name is Takuya Kambara. Oh, I don't have a Digimon with me. Don't worry, we'll talk about that later." And it's just, whoa.
They're just in there on their lunch break.
Yeah, like you're being paid by the minute here. Like he says the lines like a million miles an hour, but then 2 minutes before that, you do have Gomamon going, "Hey Joe, what are you doing? Everybody else has already gone to Tokyo. Move it." So, I do remember Shine Greymon saying "glorious burst." Yeah, he said that when Masaru and Taichi showed up to save Tageru, and that whole thing that triggered Arrestor Dramon Superior Mode, he showed up and spoke in that episode, but the actual crossover itself didn't say a word. Did not say a word. Because acting is expensive. Yes, it is.
But what was that red eye? One of his evil eyes in his hand, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. He has the green eye and then he has the red eye, so it was just both his eyes opening back up. Or at least that was the implication I took from it.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Yeah.
Because he went, "I have plenty of evil eyes left over." Or
yeah.
whatever, and then
and
they popped out of his hand. Ugh.
Yeah. Reiko says thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I guess I get to add you into this stuff now. So this is gonna be fun. So
Okay.
So I should probably do a display capture. I don't have a second screen set up at the moment, chat, because we're just sort of still in limbo with technology at the moment. So let me have a look here. What'll that do? Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Okay. So if I do this, just gonna have to bear with me a second, chat. Okay, that's not awful. Yeah, that's not awful. Okay, so I'm going to do well, hold on. Yeah. I just copy this, paste in here. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Look, I'm an idiot, okay? That's it. Right. So, I suppose because you're new, this is your first episode officially.
Yeah.
We'll start with you. Who was your favorite character this week?
This week.
And we can go back and do the other two. I'll take these out because we'll go back and do the other two.
You can leave the score.
Oh, okay.
Like I always just want to say Gamamon because he's just so cute and all the hugging and the biting.
You going with Gamamon?
No.
Okay.
I always just want
you just want, yeah.
I think with Gamamon, he's up here and then the list starts in every episode because he's going to be the answer every time.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go with Rory.
Rory, okay. Yeah.
I enjoyed her.
That's
That came out wrong.
Sorry, I think I hear the police. Please don't loot the lollies.
I'm not looting anything.
I don't know if I want to go with Rory or Angoramon this week. I think both are very valid choices. Hell, if someone even said Dracmon, I'd go, yeah, that checks out. I think just to be different, I'm gonna go with Angoramon.
I did love his voice.
Oh yeah.
It was like you were saying with Gamamon. That and goes, here's your little brother.
Yeah.
And now she just got a big brother.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
With one of those real calming anime big brother voices.
And then, what score would you give the episode? Out of 5.
Sure, like I can't. Every episode 5.
No, and I don't think this episode was a 5 either.
I don't, but I'm trying to think of what I did like about it, and it's not really happening.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, as like this episode, the writing for these first 3 episodes have been really snippy and on point, and they've given things time to breathe before it throws you into the next big thing. But I definitely didn't enjoy this as much as I would say. Like, for me, like, if you need an extra a moment,
Yeah, you do.
I would only say a 4.
I think I'd go maybe
4.5. Oh, we're doing 4. We're doing
Are we
points
doing
already.
points?
We're doing points already, lads.
Okay.
All right.
We're gonna have 2 averages.
Yeah, this will be fun, and we can, and you know, when we do I'll set you up on the ranking side of it as well, and then we can see how our opinions of each episode change as we go as well. So that actually, I'll sort that out. Okay. Cool. So I give it a 4. Meg gives it a 4.5. It's fine. Let me get rid of the display capture here. So Yami says, so let's see. Real-time editing, waiting for the blue screen. Shh. Just the potato is working.
Let's not anger the potato.
Let's not anger the potato, right? Yeah. Real-time editing. God damn you. So Reiko would choose Ruri for the best character. So yeah, again, very valid choice. Yami says 4. It was more toned down than the first 2. Definitely. And Justin, one thing I loved when Masaru blew up Belial Vamdemon by pumping his Digisoul through him. Yeah, weaponized Digisoul is just something that didn't happen in Savers. So seeing it happen in Cross Wars, I was just like, I shouldn't be shocked by this, but weaponized Digisoul is actually amazing. And should have been a thing in Savers proper. It really should have. No, yeah, well, we'll get there. We'll get there. Sure, we still have to get you through Tamers and Appmon.
Yeah.
Oh, getting you to watch Frontier is gonna be fun. Oh, it's gonna be an excuse for me to go back and watch it as well. So that's gonna be great.
Well, you can watch Tamers.
Yeah, we can do these for Tamers as well.
Yeah, sure, I need for it either way. So.
Well, we'll have the new computer next week.
Yes.
So, Giga Crusher the situation. Yes.
Right. So my goal this week is working.
There we go. We're both working in our own way.
Yeah. If only I could get.
You heard her, chat.
Oh yeah.
I do. I don't plug it because it's.
I just forgot it was a thing.
Yeah. So I guess then we'll start looking at the comments then from the last couple of episodes, stuff that I haven't had a chance to read yet, and then we'll have a bit more banter with the chat, and we'll start wrapping up. So Wormy, I'll give Wormy back to you. Okay. So, well, we talk about how Belial Vamdemon is just getting one shot by everybody. I like to consider it revenge for Lilymon getting one shot. Yeah, I mean, I'm still not over that. That was 20 years ago, and I'm still not over that. So 20 plus. Yeesh. Say nothing. Right. Let's. No. Thankfully, thankfully, Blunter is not here to make me feel bad. So, let's see, where were we? Mystery of the Museum. So let me pick up from there. Oh, okay. So the only comment I missed on Mystery of the Museum then was Justin's. Because I do remember reading Connor's comment on one of the tier lists. So franchises make you feel old.
Oh,
yeah.
God, they do.
I watched a video by Toy Galaxy earlier on about the real Ghostbusters and just went, oh no. Some interesting development issues with that cartoon, to be fair. But, okay. So, Justin's game, your comment then on the episode 2 podcast. When Gamamon made that little scream when he wanted the free samples, I just said cutest thing ever. Yeah, Gamamon's little scream. I think we've all done that for food at one point. But I want it!
That's what I'm saying. He's a top above tier character because of the cuteness.
Yeah. No, I get that. And I need to know, I'm pretty sure the Japanese word for Saikyo means strongest. Yeah, Saikyo is the strongest. Unless I missed something, did someone mistranslate? No, I think it's more that the... I'm not sure if it was a previous comment. But basically, someone... I'm not sure if it was... Oh, yeah. Karina25 basically put it that he's basically a baby mispronouncing his words. So instead of the chocolate and strongest... got mixed together, and the subtitles just didn't know how to keep up with that. So that's why Choco or Saikyo was chocolate. But it's basically he's meant to be a baby not being able to pronounce his words right. So I'm like, aw, that's adorable.
Even cuter.
Making him even cuter, yeah.
Juggernaut says, yes, he cute.
Yes, he cute, indeed. Welcome, Juggernaut. What surprised me is that Gravimon digivolves into Quartzmon. That a thing? Huh. I don't remember that. Well, it didn't happen in show, but it's probably one of these other things that it's probably on an evolution chart somewhere.
After watching you, no evolution surprises me anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Digimon evolution is interesting to say the least. It's when it's straightforward, wonderful, but then eventually just sort of gives up and does whatever. Data can become other data. Why not? But anyway, so Justin goes on to say, I also liked how Gamamon somehow opened the door. It kind of reminded me of the hacking skills in Cyber Sleuth, and yeah, it also is a nice throwback to Hero hacking the door in episode 1.
Oh yeah.
So the both of them being able to do it in different ways. I
just pulled a whole lockpick. Yeah.
Oh, I get it from my dad. Yeah. It's nice to see Gamamon evolve into Battle Gamamon. Yep. But I really felt like the evolution scene was a little short, but the evolution music is good. And one thing I want to know is, how does Hero know Gamamon's attack names? I think the Digivice is telling them.
Yeah, because Rory did it as well.
And she got a morphing scene out of it. Rory was just like, body slam! I know that wasn't the actual thing, but that's what it effectively turned into. Pion dump?
Pion dump? Yeah.
Yeah, take a dump on him. Yeah, well, rabbits. He is a rabbit, right? Oh, let's move on.
Under the correct circumstances, any Digimon may evolve. If the authors wanted, they could make Lady Mummymon or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, Anjumon can evolve into Anjawomon. Devimon can evolve into Lady Devimon. There's a lot of transitions going on in evolution. I wonder if it's an allegory. Nah, Japan doesn't think like that. Japan just goes, evolution go burr. Like Christopher did with Metal Greymon. Oh yeah. So let's have a look here. Yeah, I think it's the Digivice telling them what the moves are, because as Meg said, like Yuri does it. Yuri, oh gosh, different character. Ruri, my brain went Ruri, Yuri somehow. I don't know. Anyway, but different different thing. But Ruri, yeah, I mean she did it twice, so I think the Digivice just tells them. Because Hero also knew Gamamon's Break Claw ability, as well as then Betel Gamamon's Sore Shot. Let's have a look then. And one other thing, did Betel Gamamon win the battle? Because it looks like because it didn't look like the Sore Shot attack did any damage at all. Yeah, I was wondering about that. Like, was it just to immobilize Mummymon? Because I think I might have even said this when we were doing the review. It doesn't look like Betel Gamamon did anything in the episode.
Yeah.
So I think he showed up to incapacitate more than kill, which again is fitting with the theme.
Yeah.
We're 3 episodes in. We've defeated the enemies, but in very non-traditionally Digimon ways. So don't think too hard. Digimon Digivolution is a maze if you delve too deeply. It's environmental and not set. Remain there. Okay, yeah, okay. Even if they didn't think too much about it, that won't stop me from drawing Lady Mummymon. Do the thing. You know you want to. Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
All the cute.
So let's see. But so far, it's true about what they said about handling these problems differently, because Hero at least talked to him, Mummymon, to get him to understand what he was doing wrong. And we get Angoramon flying out of nowhere and following Ruri. I have no idea why, but Angoramon kind of reminds me of the grey dog from the old cartoon called Two Stupid Dogs. You familiar with that? That doesn't ring a bell. Did we get that here?
It doesn't sound familiar.
No, it doesn't ring a bell with me either, but...
Familiar.
Oh, okay. Was it a Cartoon Network? Oh, CBBC. Oh, that might be why I don't remember it. But I could...
Yeah.
No, it's not wrong. The big grey one does look like Angoramon. Can you bring that up? Show the... Yeah, that one will do. I was thinking more... That one, yeah. So this is the thing Justin's talking about. Oh, hold on. I need to bring down the brightness. So it definitely does have Angoramon vibes going on. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, good shout on that one, Justin. Good shout. Okay, grand. So let me have a look at the comments section for the tier lists, and then we'll banter with the chat a bit.
Yeah.
Because it's a bank holiday, so I don't have to be up for work in the morning. Yippee-ki-yay! I do love me a good bank holiday. Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
Okay, so Iker asked, "Am I going to stream today?" Unfortunately, not. Last week I was in the process of moving. I didn't have the technology set up. Hey, it's been a week. Hey, happy week! High five. Don't. Anyway, so yeah, no, like last Sunday was the move day. There was no episode on, so I had the tier list out, so I had something for you guys. So, as I'm always thinking about you guys, detrimentally so, Meg might say. It doesn't stop. Ah, Mummymon. Ah, Lady Mummymon, my love.
Backwards.
But that basically was his dub voice. It was like, ah, Lady Mummy, ah, Arukenimon, my love. Yeah.
Didn't hear that, thankfully.
How am I liking Metroid Dread? I finished it the other night, not last night, Friday night. Too much. Oh, I'm too much. I mean, hey, I got these in from Amazon Japan. Oh yeah, sure. We have 2 cameras now, don't we? So, but my Samus is a bit drunk, to say the least. She doesn't look bad from a certain angle, but you can tell there was definitely a molding issue at the factory. So we are gonna have to. I'm gonna have to look for a replacement. So, but I don't know if I should. Like, I remember when Amiibo were first a thing. I was saying this to you before. Misprints became sort of like a collector's commodity. So I don't know if I should even unbox this and leave her drunk in the box and try and, pitch it on eBay or something.
Yeah, it's the same with a couple of... Well, like, we had a family guy, Dewey, and he came in a little high chair with... But the one we had 2 eyelids, I think, instead of... Like, he had his top and his bottom eyelids, and normal ones or something. Or it was the opposite way around.
Or the other way around, yeah.
But, yeah, apparently he was funny, but then...
Ooh, okay.
But he didn't have a box or anything.
Right.
But when I looked it up, he doesn't look like the other ones.
Yeah. So my basic reaction to this when it showed up was like, hey, cool. And then I realized the molding issues. It was that scene from The Simpsons with Homer in the fire pit. He's like, that's a nice looking fire pit. Why doesn't mine look like that? So that was basically my reaction.
My headcanon is
she tripped.
so she's just going, ugh.
Yeah, but no, I really do love Metroid Dread. My first playthrough was 13 and a half hours, and there was a lot of deaths, but I would be super happy to play it again from the start.
No. Not play it.
As now I'm watching everyone else play it. Like I'm watching speed runs of it. I was watching Maximilian Dude, his playthrough, podcast talking about it. I'm in that frame of mind where I'm absorbing everything. I mean, hell, the mouse. I'm even using the mouse mat that I got as a pre-order bonus. So that's it's an interesting pre-order bonus, but I'll take it. But yeah, so we'll keep going through the comments on the tier lists, and then we can chat some more. Okay, so Yami commented, isn't Cherubimon the villain from the 02 movie? Oh, I actually responded to this. The one thing Karada has over a lot of villains, especially human ones, and it'd be nice if Digimon did stop doing this, but unlike Yamaki, there's no switching sides or redemptions. Karada was an evil prick from start to finish. And then I get teased for talking about Nanami. Arg. Were we ever told how the Dark Masters actually formed? How did they decide their pecking order? Piedmon was obviously in charge, but how did they get to that point? I don't know. And when they showed up in Tri in that flashback, I was kind of hoping maybe we'd get some insight on them. I mean, why was Evil Jedi just randomly controlling a machine Draymon? It just, yeah. A machine Draymon, I might add, that got put in its place by Plotmon. It just howled at it, and Machine Draymon went, well, I'm done, I guess. So yeah, no, I think hey, what the? Enough of that! Enough of that! Yeah, so
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
and it's there to go back to and watch you leave me alone. Nanami is best girl, and I won't have anyone say otherwise.
You're allowed to. Isn't that right,
Day
Barbie?
one. Day one and everyone's against me. This was a bad idea. Get a co-host, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Grr. Don't expect try to make sense. Yeah, well, that's my fault, isn't it? Anyway, so Nanami aside, yeah, Kurata getting no redemption arc, after, and especially not getting redeemed after his bomb went off and quite literally blew up in his face. Awesome. So Yami then goes on to say, oh, only a low B for the D-Reaper? Tisk. Davas are the same as most of the other groups. Some shine and some are just plain forgetful, but they suit their role as a difficulty stepping stone perfectly. Yeah, and that's why, like, on that tier list, like, again, I didn't make the tier list. Had I made it, all of those groups, I would have made them individual entries. Because Yami is correct on that. You know, some monsters in these groups, you go, well, I actually like you, and you up here, and you, and you know, down here. And it's tough when the only entry is them all collectively.
Yeah.
So you sort of have to balance out where the good ones and the bad ones sort of meet in them. Yeah. Casey Batman, thank you for joining. I still feel bad for Sora after what Dark Jedi did. I don't care if Sora was an adult. Please just keep him away from her. She wasn't an adult, though. She was still in high school. So yeah. Sorry, though. Why does not making sense seem to be the default answer to Digimon this evening? Because the franchise is inconsistent with its own lore. I mean, yeah, it's an inconsistent franchise, but it's quirky in a way that it does make sense in long term. Just don't expect any short term answers, I suppose. So moving on then, the return of VVV, that they just didn't care.
That too.
I mostly agree with your list. Black War Greymon getting his own tier is hilarious. Yeah, Black War Greymon, I will say this once and I will say this forever. Black War Greymon in 02 can die in a fire. A lot of fire. And then be reborn and die again. Torch its Digi-Egg.
I was thinking earlier what other came from the like all the
Yeah.
that I'm with, and my brain went Black War Greymon, and I went, well, that's the real horror.
See? She's a newbie to this and she gets it. She's a newbie to this and she gets it. Yummy. Poor Meg. What have you dragged her into? So blissfully unaware. Slowly but surely, Yummy. That's the plan. Slowly but surely. F for Black War Greymon. No F's for Black War Greymon. Middle fingers for Black War Greymon. Though I'll give him those F's. Censored to keep my monetization. Well, if she's an adult, now, well, yeah, Kizuna, they're of college age, so I guess that works. Or going by the end of 02, which is still somehow canon.
Yeah.
Sure. Anyway. So Sleek Emu says, I'm surprised you didn't put the 2020 villains in. Well, they weren't on the tier list when I came across it. Again, if I had made it, I would. And then I got to the editing process and just went, nah, I don't care. I'll be honest. They just didn't care was my answer to editing them into the tier list manually. But I at least placed them verbally, but just putting the pictures in, I just was not arsed.
Same time you didn't.
No. It was
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Like, I would love to go back to it, maybe redo it after Ghost Game.
Yeah, because then you have the 2 series.
Yeah, exactly. So, Anyway, so then again, the villains are pretty forgettable. I would put Millenniumon in his own tier list called Waste of Time, below Black War Greymon. Millenniumon had so much potential, and they just... Anyway, we're watching a good show now. We're not talking about Adventure 2020 anymore. We're watching a good show now. I wish this was kind of like Twitch and someone could redeem an IRL word ban and just be like Adventure 2020. That'd be great. Now. So let's have a look. My only complaint about Leviathan is that I wish he would transform into what he was in the manga, but I guess they didn't do that because she looks too similar to Ordinemon. Yeah, but I also think it's to separate the ideas of Leviathan between the different medias, because Yggdrasil does that as well. It's not always the big robot thing that we see in season 5. Sometimes it's just an orb, as we see in X Evolution, which is an awful movie, but it's also a lolly in the Cross Wars manga. Yeah. Lolly Yggdrasil. Let's not know. And if you think about it, we still have a Dark Jedi running around. Yeah, we do, because Kizuna didn't tie up any of the loose plot ends on the original timeline. Like, Kizuna is a better try than try, but it still had plot holes it didn't bother to tie up. They just didn't care. Only good thing in 2020 was its protagonist, Mimi. Dude, you're creating yourself quite a list of jobs to do. Better stick a note on that fridge or you're going to start forgetting all these long-term targets. They're stored away back here somewhere. Anyway. Raffi the Sky. Actually, Belphimon had taken control of his body for like the last few minutes of the fight. He is one of the demon lords, so his main purpose is to destroy everything. Did he? Did Belphimon take over Karada? Did they really have to kill off... Justin, why? Why would you bring that up? I'm gonna be upset now. Daigo was so good. Oh man. Daigo, oh man. Yes, I would like a hug. Come here, buddy. Oh man. I like Daigo. Technically, he's the only Goggle Boy who failed. That's even harsher. Yeah. Karada was merged with Belphimon, but he was still talking. Yeah, exactly. That was always my interpretation of it. But this comment is like, well, actually, Belphimon had taken control of his body. And I don't mean to nerdify it like that, but when you start with actually, you kind of deserve it. But yeah. Okay. 4 minutes in. F for Black War Greymon. No. 713. Yeah, I also treated him as a huge threat when I was a kid before Duskmon showed up. And 2848. If only he had his pizza without the crust, he'd be higher. Oclimon. Why do all of you get the pizza while I get the crust? I can't take all these metaphors. God. The Adventure dub had some real bangers. Like, yeah. In the dub, Karada is even issuing orders to Belphimon. Yeah, that's true. When Masaru starts to bust out burst mode, he's like, do something, Belphimon, quickly! Yeah, that's true. I don't think he did. Belphimon was in control. Yeah. Sorry, Raffi the Sky. Raffi the Sky, the chat seems to disagree. But thank you for commenting and for watching the video. I do appreciate that. Sleeky Moo then comes back and says that their ranking, S rank, Leviathan and Karada, A rank, Edamon, Dark Masters, Ken, Dark Knightmon, the Ultimate 4, Wardamon, and Deusmon. Okay, there's a lot of names there that don't make sense to you yet, so yeah. The Ultimate Four, Wardamon and Deusmon are kind of spoilers for you right now, so I'll say nothing. B rank then, Vamdemon, D Reaper, OG Devimon, the Evil Legendary Warriors, Lucemon, Yggdrasil, the Biohybrid Trio, Dynasmon, Crusadermon, and Saximon. Yeah, you've met Saximon.
Yes.
Yeah. Tengu guy with the fun. Yeah. Cool. C rank then, the Death Generals, Apoclymon, Devimon Reboot, Chimeramon, Tactimon, Lilithmon, Algomon. I presume the 2020 Algomon rather than the movie Algomon, who was like there for half an hour. Metaphor Apoclymon is legendary no matter how you look at it. Yeah, like in hindsight, the dub had a lot of bangers that are just stupid but memorable. And Apoclymon, as much as he is like the ultimate Digimon with hot and cold running water, it's so dumb, but you know, you remember it, like, you know. What am I supposed to be laughing at? I'm supposed to be depressed. That's such a good line as well. And Kirena comes out with the hot and cold running water. So anyway, continuing on. So Sleeky Moo's ranking. So C rank: Death Generals, Apoclymon, Devimon Reboot, Chimeramon, Tactimon, Lilithmon, Algomon, the Devas, and Daemon. Fair enough. D rank: Black War Greymon, Bagramon, Belial Vamdemon, and Belphemon. And then F rank, I didn't even have an F, but Negamon, Cherubimon, Quartzmon, Ordinemon, and Evil Jedi. That's, yeah, okay, yeah. I can see why. And then Pejurachkovic finishes off the tier list comments. Okay, here we go. I'll try and get through this quickly, Peja. Great list. Karada is no doubt the best Digimon villain. Digimon Kaiser, shall we say? Will that get me copyright claimed or banned, or will YouTube?
Yeah, don't say that word.
Yeah, will YouTube come down on me if I say Führer or Hitler?
Maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. It's in the main video. You know what he is. He's
like,
I mean, Digimon Kaiser is Ken.
Yeah.
So calling Karadamon Digimon Kaiser is...
Yeah, sorry.
In the dub, it's Emperor.
Okay.
But
that then.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, yeah, you gotta tiptoe around certain topics. I would put Yggdrasil in a high A rank along with the Dark Masters and Ken. I'm surprised that you put Negamon in A class. I love the concept of Negamon so much. I think Negamon... I just wish the show had done more with Negamon as opposed to wasting 30 episodes on Millenniumon. Like, if Negamon was the threat from the start, he'd be S rank. I love the concept of Negamon, that humanity is so trash, they created this thing. And I love that commentary on things. It's just like, we are an awful species and will inevitably create our own demise. You know.
They really don't.
Oh, they definitely could. Yeah. You know, they definitely could. Instead of wasting 30 episodes on Millenniumon, just don't do that. I mean, without Millenniumon, we don't get Goku Greymon, so I'm kind of torn. But, look, Goku Greymon will always be so great, always be so dumb, it's amazing. But, yeah. But, yeah, I think if they'd have just focused on Negamon for 66 episodes, it would have been fine. Yeah, and like Peja even agrees, Negamon has a great concept for a villain. The only problem was he wasn't present enough. If he was present throughout the show from the beginning, he could be an S tier. Fist bumps for Peja. Other villains, I agree. Millenniumon is treated as a treat. He's an A grade, right? So something that the fans go, oh, hey, I know that thing, is an A grade. But as a villain, he's an F grade. Just a mindless beast that wants to destroy anything. Yeah, and I don't like eldritch abominations that just sit there and scream. I want to know your motivations, man. What drives you? Look into your heart and soul. It's a bit to expect out of a kids show.
A little bit.
A little bit. I just want good writing, damn it. You don't have to dumb down your writing to just because you're writing for kids. Exactly. You give them smart writing that you don't even like. Kids writing doesn't have to be dumbed down, or doesn't have to have the moral of the story shoved in your face either. You can do good long-term storytelling that just sits in the back of their heads as they grow up, and things like that. I don't want to use the word imprint, but that's basically what it's doing. Yeah, like it sits and it festers, and you might generate a bit of a moral compass out of it because you're remembering these stories that had, that just were written smartly, as opposed to, well, you're a kid, you don't care, buy our toys.
Kids don't like being.
They don't, which is the funny thing that like every studio seems to just ignore, because everything gets focus group tested and watered down. Thanks, Karen. I do feel like the reason why we got Millennium on, just to draw people in or make them go, oh wow, they remember the Wonder Swan games. Yeah, I totally agree. I definitely think it was a ploy for people who remembered the Wonder Swan games, because there was a lot of talk of, oh, maybe Ryo will show up, and well, obviously that didn't happen. But they're for a lot of the fandom, you can't talk about Millenniumon without talking about Ryo. And you haven't met Ryo yet, so don't worry. But even when you do meet Ryo, that stuff won't matter. Yeah, they just don't bring it up in Tamers. So don't worry. When you meet Ryo, it won't matter. See what I mean? The franchise can't even be consistent with itself. But I get why he was brought in, because he was a fan favorite, but they wanted to bring him in, and if you knew, you knew. But they didn't want to bog down people who might not have played the games with a bunch of backstory that ultimately doesn't relate to the plot of Tamers.
Yeah.
So I can appreciate that, but us talking about the Wonder Swan games, don't worry, Tamers just ignores them.
That really seems to be the theme of the night. Don't worry about it. Doesn't make sense. Don't pay attention to that. It's all good.
Remember every time they say about toning stuff down for kids or simplifying things, Watership Down and Farthing Woods are you certificate.
I haven't seen the new Watership. Apparently awful, because cut out all the reasons.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
There's no violence, there's no all the stuff that was going on. I think the animals are I can't even remember.
Because it was very environmentally, that show, right? It was very environmental.
Well, no, you're thinking of the Farthing Woods.
Oh, okay.
We had that same discussion out there. I was like, I think I conflate the two because their animations are very
similar.
Yeah. But Watership Down is terrifying, traumatizing, meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they took all of that out. The animation is really bad.
Oh, of course they did. We can't have nice things anymore, And I'm not.
Kids can handle scary.
Kids can handle scary. I think parents can't anymore. I don't think it's the kids that are.
Yeah.
I don't think it's won't somebody please think of the children. These days, sometimes I feel like it's won't somebody please think of the parents.
Yeah.
And I don't get that,
if you scare
because
my child, I have to deal with it.
Yeah, but it's our generation that grew up on that.
Yeah.
So I don't get it.
Yeah, if it's the parents of our generation,
yeah.
People who grew we were talking about my niece. She I'm always looking at Doctor Who episodes and stuff, going, is that too scary for her? And then she's over here playing Mortal Kombat and watching Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, and you're just going, oh, well, I guess not. No.
Yeah.
The bubble wrap monster from Doctor Who isn't going to terrify your niece if she's laughing at Freddy Krueger and
She came into my bedroom and saw my Freddy plush that I had on, and she went, how do you know Freddy Krueger? And how do you?
Meg felt 3 decades older that day. You just hide behind Wormmon. Yeah, that's fair. Justin's game. I was always confused on this, but is the Wonder Swan game Ryo canon to Tamers, and that the guy who Little Ken was around that Ryo too. Yeah, that's exactly it. So Little Ken and Ryo went to the Dark Ocean, and they fought Moon Millenniumon, who was obsessed with Ryo, basically was effectively in love with him, and wanted to make him his own. And we thought the Dagomon episode was creepy, but yeah. But anyway, so they defeat it or whatever, and Ryo gets his partner Monodramon from the remnants, basically, of Moon Millenniumon. But in that defeat, Ken also gets infected with the dark seed, and then that drives him to become the Kaiser, and etc. etc. And then at some point, Ryo just goes to the Tamers universe.
Right.
He just goes, but yeah, Pedge's comment goes on for a bit here. I mean, you can, so I'll try and get through it as quick as I can, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean there's a bit of content to cover, so I don't want to be Grant. Let's see. Poor Black War Greymon has a tier list of his own. He deserves it. I don't like Black War Greymon. The idea of him as an anti-hero is just bad. He wasn't even a good anti-hero. Like, he was Mewtwo, but worse. He even tried to have his own, you know, the circumstances of your birth don't matter, it's what you do. He even tried to have his own one of those and just f***ed up. Yeah, Black War Greymon can piss off. Sorry. I get a bit animated talking about Black War Greymon, but goddamn Black War Greymon. There's a t-shirt. Oh god, yeah. We need to start looking at that. They can't take nudity either. They even arrest you for taking off censor from it. Haven't heard anything like that, but I wouldn't be shocked. Let's see. I would prefer him. Oh, back on Black War Greymon. I would just prefer him to be. I would just prefer him just being a killing machine that wanted to be the strongest and destroyed everyone in his way. Yeah, like if he didn't have an existential crisis about being a control spire Digimon, and his quest was just to murder everything to prove he was real, like this sort of twisted Pinocchio. I think I'd almost get more behind that, because he wouldn't come across as so whiny, and I even feel like saying whiny is underselling Black War Greymon.
It is, yeah.
You know, like he's a walking Linkin Park song. He should have been in the original or reboot. Other shows just don't suit him. Well, technically he was in the original. Well, it's sequel. That counts in a way. Same universe, but anyway. And one more thing. It was originally planned that Greymon from Cross Wars be a villain instead of Devimon in episode 23 and 24 of the reboot. Yeah, that was something I wanted to do a video on. The DVDs and the Blu-rays for Adventure 2020 are coming out, and and the little pamphlets that come with them are talking about some of the production decisions and things that had to change because of the circumstances ongoing. And one of the things they wanted to do was have the Greymon from Cross Wars. No, obviously it's not going to be Kiri has Greymon, but this show was filled with Cross Wars references, so I was like, okay, cool. So they were going to have it show up, and the fight with that, it would become Mugendramon, and that would cause the evolution for Metal Greymon into Blitz Greymon.
Okay.
Rather than it just happening because he hit a pillar of light or a pillar of electricity. It would have added more to going with that whole changes in environment and changes in your situation or what you're fighting in that particular time. That would have caused the evolution to Blitzgreymon and given him a proper entry into the episode.
Yeah.
But they had to put him in somewhere because of Alter S. So they just sort of went, this one. So it's an interesting bit of trivia that Cross Wars Greymon was going to be the Mugendramon. Especially because Mugendramon just kind of shows up at the end of the Millenniumon arc. So having the Cross Wars Greymon turn into that Mugendramon, and instead of Metal Greymon turning into Mugendramon again like he did against Don Devimon, becoming Blitz Greymon instead, would have been that nice bit of synergy that was kind of missing. Because, yeah, Mugendramon in Adventure 2020 just kind of there. I think it was the Sephirothmon made him from the collected data or whatever. That was how they did it. But yeah. Well, I mean, Sephirothmon's whole thing was that it collects data.
Yeah. But...
you know, and it was using that data to feed Millenniumon. That was its whole thing. But I think it took the battle data from things like the kids had fought before and made the Mugendramon out of that. But Mugendramon itself, Millenniumon itself, is a Jogress of Chimeramon and Mugendramon, as both are Chimera Digimon. Mugendramon being mechanical and Chimeramon being organic. So it's a Jogress of those two. But the Mugendramon that Metal Greymon turned into briefly when it lost its mind, it didn't have the cannon things on the back. So Metal Mamemon were meant to turn up at some point as well, earlier than they did, I think. It was that episode where they basically fell for half an hour, and there was just a bunch of Mamemon in that episode. Like the Metal Mamemon were meant to turn up because they make up the Infinity Cannons on the back of Mugendramon.
Yeah. So
that would have been more data for Sephirothmon to process to assist in this Greymon becoming Machine Draymon. It's interesting because they don't often do that. They don't often say, "Oh, this was the original plan." They that kind of gets locked in a vault and you never really hear anything about it. So for this information to just be in a pamphlet, I was always half tempted to track it down. Well, not half tempted to track it down. I was going to do it because I wanted to make a video on it and talk about it properly. But it kind of, because it's one of these things that shows don't often do, I kind of wanted a copy of it.
Yeah.
Just, but it would just sit on a shelf in Japanese. So I may as well just, look into a translated version of it that someone has put together and talk about the translated version of it. Vedamon did say Millenniumon was interested in data of Digimon that beat him in the Holy War. Yeah. They just never did anything with it. You basically Terra destroyed Black War Greymon. He deserved it. I still think Taichi's War Greymon could have kicked Black War Greymon's ass. Yeah. Well, reboots especially. All you'd have to do is stand on him. Bloody giant. Anyway. So, he would digivolve to Mugendramon and then Blitzgreymon would debut, but the episode idea was scrapped. Yeah. Since I didn't watch Appmon yet, I don't know anything about Leviathan. Now let's see what Villain's Ghost Game has in store for us. One thing I would like to see in some Digimon anime is all 7 Demon Lords as a group being villains of the show and their fusion in Ogudomon. Oh, I can see why. Right? The 7 Great Demon Lords they're like the Royal Knights. Right, they have that same sort of not majesty, reverence.
Yeah.
Right, the 7 Great Demon Lords, they have the same sort of reverence that the Royal Knights have. But I think individually they've shown up in enough stuff that personally I wouldn't be a fan of it. I'm just kind of like, I'm done with the Royal Knights and I'm done with the 7 Demon Lords.
Yeah.
It's like that poster that came with the magazine. Like one side is like it's V-Tamer and it's Dreamers and it's Ghost Game art, and then the other side, and it's really well, it looks like really good art, and then the other side is just stock image of the Royal Knights and the Demon Lords. I'm just gonna go, no interest. Oh, I need a Digimon series where the 7 Demon Lords are antagonists like the Dark Masters. So, I mean, Desmond and Pedja are in agreement on that. I mean, personally, not for me, but I can totally understand and appreciate why people would like it. But here's the other thing. If it's written well, I'd probably enjoy it.
Yeah.
But
It's not something
I'm after, as it just feels too fan servicey. And I'm kind of done with fan service. I would like them to just focus on new things. Okay. So that's the last comment from the tier list. Let me bring up the Digivice tier list. There's only a few comments on that, and then we're effectively done. Yeah, we can keep chatting with the chat. So, right, so Yami JK, starting off our Digivice tier list comment section. Doom Guy versus the Demon Lords. Okay, I'd pay for that. Okay, if that was a Kickstarter, if that was an officially run Kickstarter, I'd contribute to that. Sure. Why not? Bethesda and Toei working together. I mean, I don't think it'll ever happen, but be funny. Yeah. So okay, so yeah, sorry, I got distracted by the chat. No comments. So Yami JK, where I discover I'm in a minority opinion group. Oh, okay. Interesting. This was not done in the way I was expecting, but fair enough. Functionality of a Digivice makes sense. I'd still likely have bias in design more so. The 02 model looks like a walkie-talkie, and it's always put me off, but I do like the idea of the 01, 02, and 03 styles leading into each other, which would make sense as 01 and 02 were just shows in Tamers. I think that was a dub thing, but Digimon is definitely an established franchise, but I think it was only, I think Adventure and 02 were only an anime verse in the dub. I think that's something that gets conflated because Digimon is an existing franchise.
Well,
so
in the at least a game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's at least a game, well at least the card game, but the dub kind of, because the dub has a few lines where it's like, my teacher looks like Kari. Or, you know, it puts the goggles on and it's like, I look just like Ty or Davis or whatever. You know, and then fast forward to Cross Wars and Takano and Taichi are like 5 feet from each other. But yeah, but you know, it.
Yeah,
but
I also agree. The ugly one.
The ugly one, yeah, it's the giant antenna, isn't it? Yeah. So the so the 02 model looks like a walkie-talkie, shows and tamers. Okay. Such a low ranking of the IC. Surprising, but I personally find the burst version a downgrade in style. The IC even cleverly incorporates the DATS logo. 2020 Digivice, you just want those free barriers, don't you? I mean, do you not want your Digivice to give you a force field? Do you not? You know, especially when the shows, like, I mean, to Adventure 2020's credit, and even Ghost Game, as we've been talking about, to their credit, their Digimon seem a lot more focused on attacking the children. Do you not want your magical holy device to go force field? Let me date Leviamon in a future game. In Hacker's Memory, a Beelzebumon is one of the characters you can develop a tiny relationship with. Instead of making the Demon Lords enemies, make them dating targets of a game. Demon Lord dating simulator. Okay, you might have sold me on that. I don't think that's been done. You mean I get to romance Lucemon and Lilithmon? Can I romance Beelzemon 2020? Sorry, 2010. Is he included? Is he like an offshoot? And in the Crosswords crossover, you can hear Takato saying, "Hey, it's nice to see those two together." Yeah, I think that was more for the fans' benefit than Takato's. He does have a line where it's like, "It's amazing to see those two side by side," but I think that's for the fans' benefit.
But if they're
he totally makes sense as well.
Then he is the fans.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You know, so it makes sense in both contexts. Like if in Tamers if in Tamers they seen the same version of Adventure in 02 that we did, totally you're like, oh my god, these guys are real. You know, and it's cool to see them side by side. But I think it's more for the fans' benefit where you're seeing original Taichi next to Daisuke, as opposed to grown-up Taichi in a school uniform next to Daisuke. That kind of loses, because you're seeing Taichi at his strongest next to Daisuke at his strongest, you know, because that's the whole thing of the crossover. They get plucked from time at their strongest points because there's a villain threatens the multiverse. Well, that's the point of Cross Wars Part 3. Not the other two.
Sorry, I won't.
No. No, but so I did forget to mention it in the video, but the 2020 Digivice also having a built-in Pokédex is cool as well.
Oh.
You know, where they would just hold it up and the hologram would come up with all the Digimon stats on it.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah, I think the Tamers one does that as well, but but the Tamers one doesn't give you a force field. So, what I forgot to say is the good thing about the D-Arc, it actually allowed the Tamers to actually get involved in the fights over just standing there like lemons or cheerleaders. Yeah, I mean, with the card slash thing, you know, which became less important as the show went on, it does. Yeah, no, card slash stops being a thing eventually.
Good.
But it's kind of weaned out of the show. So it'll still come up and you go, oh yeah, that's something that they do. And then it's just there's straits of battles where they just go, this is just a Digimon show. They don't spend 10 minutes on stock footage going, wah, 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 wah. Slash! Execute! Wait, that's Frontier. Execute Spirit Evolution. That's the Frontier call. Or Digimodify. There we go.
But that
Card slash.
and app drives.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, that just takes forever.
Yeah, it does. Also, phases out because they're selling you merchandise at that point. Like Cross Wars is, as much as I love Cross Wars, I think I bring this up every couple of episodes. It is the most egregious at selling you merchandise because when the Digicrosses are happening for the first, I want to say 10 or 15 episodes, they'll call out their partner, be like, "Shoutmon!" and he'll pop up on screen and do a dynamic pose. And then the background is suddenly filled with trading cards. And I'm just like, I remember, and it's still one of those things, like, it's the most egregious at trying to sell you toys and merchandise. It's just, there's trading cards everywhere. In a show where trading cards aren't the focus.
That's even worse.
Yeah, right? Like, in Tamers, it would make sense.
Yeah.
You know, it would be dumb as all hell, but it would make sense because that's the card game anime.
Yeah.
But, correction, they're selling you the backing track. Oh. Thanks to the Digimon Savers games, I got introduced to the demons, and it's Daemon, not Creepymon. I refuse to call him that stupid name.
That is...
Oh, Creepymon is so, yeah, like that's a name that didn't have to be watered down.
See, I don't know who that is right now. I don't think.
Okay, no, you do.
Do I?
Yeah, 02.
Right.
Toward the end of it, the Satan-looking thing in the hood that tried to Ken had to fight against it, and it nearly turned him evil.
Yeah.
That thing.
Yeah.
Right.
But when I think creepy mon, it pops into my head.
Yeah, well, Numamon is creepy, but
He is very creepy.
But Daemon has like that. That Daemon has a more monstrous form, and I show Ellen. No, not Doggymon. I mean, Doggymon is a thing, but that is not what I meant to type. Oh, Doggymon is a thing. Yeah.
Everything mon is a
So it turns into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they called it Creepymon. Yeah. But its name is Daemon, which, works because obviously it's a demon. It's a demon lord, but also, like, mailer daemons. You see that on internet things, like, corrupted daemon, etc., etc. So, it is an internet thing.
Yeah.
So... what else has the chat got to say here? Frontier Seraphimon or Reboot Seraphimon? Reboot Seraphimon, he did more. Let's see. Reiko says, let the humans fight more alongside their Digimon, like Masaru. Like Masaru and Eri. Yeah, definitely let the humans fight more. That's why I was saying about Ruri, and you were talking about her punching Hero in the face. I was like, yeah, if they gave us more female characters that weren't afraid to beat the tar out of people, I'd be all for that. Because we're certainly not going to get a fighting character out of Kyoshiro.
No.
Oh, that'd be fun though.
I'd like to think that the reason she didn't have the instinct to punch him is because she was confused by everything that was going on around her.
Yeah, that was
so maybe in future episodes she'll kind of, big creatures and things being around her and her fingers disappearing, that'll just all be like second nature to her.
Yeah, when she's not in a position where, oh my god, my hands don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
She might have a bit more of a fighting instinct. Yeah. Masaru slugging kaiju-sized Digimon in the face was absolutely my favorite part of Data Squad. Yeah. Maybe have the humans with Digispirits and a Digimon partner. Oh, I don't know about that. I think that's kind of overkill. I mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know if I'm a fan of that. I think it's an interesting idea. Because Frontier was very Super Sentai anyway, right? With the humans transforming into the monsters themselves. And then Cross Wars was like a mecha show, where everything combining into super robots. So if you take elements of those and combine them, where you've got the humans that can do the Power Ranger transformation, but you've also got the partners that can become the super robots. Toei might as well just make another Sentai series at that point.
Yeah, true.
So I kind of like it, but it does get to a stage where I go, well, why don't you just make another one of this show? But cool idea, Reiko. Let's see, Pedja, Daemon is a villain I would like to see in Ghost Game. I think he'd work very well in Ghost Game. There is fighting alongside Mon, and then there's Masaru Daphnis. Oh man, Masaru Daphnis is amazing. Masaru was willing to take down a boat. It's obviously an inherited ridiculous. Well, I mean, yeah, Suguru is just Masaru but more mature? Question mark. It got out of hand. Masaru should be bench pressing buildings with the monsters he's been knocking back. Kirina then. Well, I mean, his dad literally punched a desert so hard he broke through to the water table, presumably miles below. Yeah, that's a thing that happened. And that's the
one I'm not sure I can forget.
Yeah, no. And I'll be honest, right? That is the only instance of weaponized Digisoul where I'm just like, oh. And then Masaru just, of course, takes it overboard in the crossover. But like, it's the only time you see Digisoul weaponized in Savers, because Masaru's dad just goes, shiny fist, bang, and water. So, I mean, to be fair, like, there is a whole religious subtext to a lot of season 5, because, like, Masaru's dad is hailed as the savior. So Masaru is basically the son of God for reasons that I can't elaborate on further because spoilers.
Okay.
But Masaru is technically the son of God, or the son of the savior, if you will. There's definitely some underlying religious elements to Savers in the later part.
I've only seen clips of him, but that really explains the ego.
Well, the ego is just he's an undefeated street fighter. Like, his whole thing is just like he's never been beaten in a fight.
Petra said, gotta go.
Alright, Petra. Look after yourself, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. I'm trying to catch up on the chat here before I get back to the comments.
I'm keeping it weird.
So, where were we? Digimon, Demon, Daemon. Yeah. Masaru should be bench pressing buildings. I mean, literally, but Rory was afraid of the unknown, but now she knows what she's dealing with. Yeah, that's kind of basically what you said, yeah. It's like calling Sleepmon Kentorosmon. The Kentorosmon name can die in a fire. Yeah. Especially considering we already have Centaurmon, or Centauromon. Having 2 Digimon with basically the same name is kind of redundant. But I guess sleep, as in Sleipnir, was a bit too much Norse for Western kids to handle as they go to watch Thor in the movies.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, wouldn't that be the audience that?
Yeah.
Would be the.
Yeah. You remember when we were playing Cyber Sleuth? Remember remember the big red one that we had to get Rena to help us fight because it was too fast? Oh god, yeah.
That's all I could picture.
This dude.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So Sleepmon, as in Sleipnir. But no, they called him Kentorosmon in the dub.
Right.
Because it might be a centaur kind of thing.
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of, but not really.
I guess.
Masaru was willing to take down a boat. Humans who can turn into Sentai plus Digimon who can turn into super robots. Wouldn't that just end up being headmasters? Well, there's a reference I haven't heard in a while. Isn't hyper bioevolution just spirit evolution without the spirits involved? Yes, it is. Because the Digimon data has been hardwired into your DNA somehow. Science? Look, it's a stupid concept, but it's a neat reference.
I mean, they're the same thing. Religious people.
Oh, there you go. And there you go. There's that religious undertone.
Design?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that's the exact term, but yeah. But I get what I definitely get where you're coming from. I want to see Daemon and Barbamon. Those two are the demon lords I really want to see in Ghost Game. And Lilithmon, but only if they give her real personalities. I'm looking at you, Cross Wars. That's fair. Well, I mean, different universe, different rules, right? I mean, just because Monster A has a personality in this universe doesn't mean it has to transfer over to the next one. Reiko, yeah, there are multiple ways in which humans can fight against and alongside Digimon. Matthias, I really like Cross Wars, but I'm not a fan of what they did with her. But yeah, she did turn into, like, her and Blastmon effectively became Team Rocket after a couple of episodes. Like, that is undeniable. They basically did become the Team Rocket of the show, which is sad. And then Yami, Kudamon. Yeah, Kudamon's great.
Right. And I couldn't remember what she looked like.
I mean, that's an element of her personality.
I remember the clip. Could be.
Which one?
I think exactly what happened. Because all I can remember is boobs. Just.
Oh! I think I know what you're talking about. Where, yeah. I showed Meg a clip a while ago from when Balmon first evolves into Beelzemon, and beats High Machinedramon, and Lilithmon is riding on top of High Machinedramon, and when the blast hits or the explosion happens, Lilithmon's chest has like physics of its own. It just has its own animation where they're just doing that to the point where the dub had to take a clip from a completely different episode and paste it in and just be like, I can't believe I lost, or whatever the dialogue was. Yeah. And then Mervamon happened and everything went to heck. Mervamon was like Tits McGee the second. Like how the dubbing team, the production team for the dub of the Cross Wars Part 2 when Mervamon shows up, how they just didn't look at this and went and just didn't go no is beyond me. Like they didn't find a way to just write her out completely.
Yeah.
Or just go, we're just not dubbing this. Screw it. Her edits are really awkward because they kept how big her chest was.
Yeah.
But they edited in like cloth and like
modesty panels.
Not quite. Yeah, so basically that too. But they were obviously meant to look like animal skin because she's a very tribal looking monster. Yeah. But so it's like they didn't tone down the size of the chest. And they tried to edit in these very badly CG drawn animal skin looking modesty panels, and you're just like, why did you bother? Like what? And then they. Is
it one of those things that would have been less noticeable had they just left it alone?
No, because one of her attacks is coming at you crotch first.
Right.
Peeps were super horny during Cross Wars. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. I always wanted to know, why did Masaru need to punch a Digimon in order to activate his Digisoul? I forgot if he learned how to activate it without the punch later on. Yami says, I don't believe he ever did, though it would have been a good little maturity nod for him if he did click his fingers like Toma and move. Yeah, I think it gets explained in the show by the old man that it's a mental thing. He doesn't actually have to do it, because there are one or two scenes throughout the show where he just gets angry enough to summon it. But I do think it is sort of explained in the show that it's a mental thing, that he feels like he has to do it or his soul won't activate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That changed later on.
I never paid enough attention to it. Like, I learned about Attack on Titan through internet osmosis rather than, I think I watched the first 10 episodes. But I kind of learned about the rest of it through internet osmosis. So I don't know if that ever changed either, but I do remember the biting thing. But it would have been a nice maturity nod if they did sort of. But there is a point where you go, well, we've had him punch monsters for 30 episodes. It'd be a bit weird if we stop now.
Yeah.
Digisoul is basically shonen fighting spirit. Yes, it is. It is basically fighting spirit made tangible. And then the Digivices absorb it.
Okay.
The man-made science Digivice. Yeah. Okay. So I think we're caught up on both the chat now. So let's see. Next comment then was Sleekimu, who said, for functionality as an anime and toy stroke gadget, I really like the D-Arc, Aptly Drive Duo, and the Vital Bracelet. The toy gadget works the same as how the anime works, so it's really fun. Especially the Aptly Drive Duo, because Kamen Rider bias. Technically spoilers for you.
Okay.
Yeah, so I won't go much. Design-wise, I like the design of the Detector. I don't know why, it just looks nice. And that's fair. There's something about the Season 4 Digivice, it's just pleasant to look at. The Detector. The D-Tector. There.
Oh, that's quite nice actually.
Yeah, it's just pleasant.
It's like a. Oh, no, it was
Yeah.
That one is very nice.
The blue one?
Yeah. These look like if the ugly one. Nice.
Do you remember those toys from years ago, scanners? Where you would scan barcodes. Early teens, I would say. Maybe been scanners with a Z. See what comes up.
That sounds more familiar.
There you go. I just add Z to everything. It's basically them. And the toy had the exact same functionality. You scan a barcode, you get a monster to fight. So it was basically those.
Actually, no. The stuff.
I just realized when Agumon was already evolved, Masaru could use his soul again without punching. Yeah, there was now and then he didn't have to punch again to go to Ultimate or Mega, but did anyway. Because he was already too invested in the fight at that point. Kirina says, I actually do remember those vaguely. Couldn't really get it to work though. But yeah, the scanners and the detector are basically the same thing. That I don't know. So Sleek goes on to say, my least favorite design is the IC, mainly because it's just too blocky looking. At least the crossloader has a bit of a design to it. Yeah, the crossloader looks like a microphone. Which I think is nice, but I also do like the spinny thing in the center, and then the button in it, as like the toy version, just the spinny thing, and then it's got a nice click to it when you push in. But I do like the versatility of it in the show, where when Taiki is deciding what monsters to put together, he's literally cycling through a list, and you see it pop up on screen.
Like an old iPod.
Yeah, exactly like an old iPod. Yeah, exactly like one of those. And so you see him like he's cycling through it, and then selecting on which ones he wants to use for the cross. So like functionality, and I just think it was really fun. Sleek then continues. Least favorite functionality in the anime is the 2020 device. That Digivice can just do the same as the OG, but can just do everything now, which lost the limited tools the kids have. I don't mind the Digivice having a navigational function like most Digivices, but not a compass that literally points where you should go, like some game.
Have something like that. Things would show up as.
Yeah, it would. Well, it would. I'm gonna give that a pass. I'm gonna give it a pass because the bad writing of the show aside, the holy device that you're carrying around should be able to guide you to where the other holy device is that you need to. Well, they didn't even need the crests in 2020 to get to Mega. Yeah. They didn't. Or even Perfect. They didn't need them for that. But in theory, Device A, it's in Season 1, right? Regular Digivice should be able to lead you to Tag and Crest. Which it did. That was how they knew where to go to. They knew there was a crest somewhere, remember? Yeah. But they didn't know whose it was. But your individual device being able to say, no, you need to go southwest for about 3 days. Kind of give that a pass. Because the logic checks out. Bad writing of the show doesn't change the functionality of the device. You know, just because the show wrote it badly doesn't mean that the logic of what they were trying to accomplish doesn't check out.
Also, if they do something like that, progress because they don't know where to go.
Yeah, and there's a bit of that as well, isn't there? Like the story has to progress in some regard.
Because if they just go there, everyone. How did they know to go there?
And that's it, you know. Or if they just turn up, if they just turn up at a football stadium, for reference's sake, if they just turn up at a football stadium, oh well, it was just too convenient that they happened to be there, and that's where the crest was. It's one of these situations where you can't win. Like someone's going to complain somewhere, so I kind of just give it a pass.
Yeah.
But I just think it's easier. Reiko. Oh, imagine a protagonist that can absorb the data of Digimon by punching them and use that data for temporary evolution into a humanoid version of it, like a Digispirit. You're really high on this Digispirit idea, aren't you? I like the ways of manifesting it in different ways that you're coming up with. Popcorn. Okay. No, I'm good. No, we just had dinner. And we have cakes, so it's cool.
Popcorn, though.
Yeah. Anyway, let's not make the chat hungry. Hey, Sleek, we were just talking about you. All good. Don't worry, we're just reading comments. Nobody tell him all the bad stuff. Kidding. I'm kidding.
How come comment came up on the screen first, then on yours, and then on mine?
Because YouTube is weird.
Shouldn't we see it on these first and then on screen?
I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, because what's on screen here is just a pop out of what you have on the phone there. So those should pop up at the same time. But whatever about hitting enter on the chat, it always pops up in the OBS chat first. So, right. So where were we? It's the end of Sleek. So that Digivice can do the same as the OG. But can do everything now, which lost the limited tools the kids have. I mean, outside of the compass and the force field. I mean, I still dig the force field. I think that's fun. Especially now we've gotten 2 shows in a row where the Digimon are very focused on hurting the children.
Yeah.
Force fields more. Yeah, give them force fields. Why not? It's stupid, but sure. I don't mind the Digivice having a navigational function, but not a compass that literally points to where you need to go. Somehow Izzy installed Gatchmon's ability into the Digivice, can communicate via hologram and not just a voice call. It's a device from another dimension. I don't think the hologram thing is all that...
it's one of those things where you can't apply our world logic to it, because that technology just their world. Yeah,
it just... Like that world's technology is more advanced than ours. Because reasons. I don't think it's I don't think that's a point against it. Not just a voice call, it can do everything, which I'm not a fan of. I mean, navigational features, walkie-talkie functions, force field. It's kind of all it does. I don't know if that's everything. Because the old,
or is it more that
because it doesn't.
They just have them all at once?
Well, no, there was a whole thing where Koshiro had to upgrade the Digivices to have more functions.
Yeah, that was in the original one.
No.
No, in the new one as well.
In the new one as well.
Okay.
Yeah, he upgraded the Digivices.
That's what I thought. Maybe referring to that you had to work for it. You just got
you're right as well. In the original, when Genai upgrades the laptop to be able to do the Digimon Analyzer thing, there is a moment where Koshiro starts taking everybody's device and putting them into the laptop. So the firmware upgrades, so to speak. So it is a thing that like both shows did. They just had different ways about it. We just didn't have a Genai in for that exposition. I don't know if exposition is the right word there, but so then skip 0390. The D-Power Digivice will always be my favorite. Too bad I never got one. The only Digivice I ever had was the D-Tector, and Season 4 wasn't even my favorite. You should have included the D-Terminal with the D. It wasn't my list. I just went onto Tier Maker, typed in Digimon, and it was there, and I thought it'd be a quick and easy tier list to do. I don't know. if the D terminal functionality would have boosted the D3 higher on the list than I put it, because the D terminal basically became a Digi-Egg storage or a Digimental storage device. It didn't do anything to improve any functionality of the Digivice itself. But one thing that the original Digivice could do that the OG Digivice couldn't. Sorry, other way. Sorry, I said OG twice. One thing the Season 1 Digivice could do that the 2020 Digivice couldn't was cast out Dark Gears. Because we didn't have an equivalent for that. But the Digivice wasn't driving Soundburn Mono. Punching Digimon in the face was driving Soundburn Mono away. So I wouldn't say it did everything the OG Digivice did. It just had more modern functionality. I mean, the Digivice let you do FaceTime. God, choking on popcorn. And I'm not even eating popcorn, but the waft of it is feeling it. It's strong. But yeah, again, I mean, the Detector, there's just something pleasant looking about it. Reiko, I like Digispirits. Oh, I can tell. That's cool. I'm glad, like, but that's the thing, right? Season 4, it's a lot of, deservedly so. I mean, it is a show that spends 25 episodes beating the tar out of its main cast. Not even joking. And then it sends them to the moon. Yeah, like Cameron Grimes, to the moon! But it just is like, there's always going to be elements of these things that somebody, like, that's their favorite mechanic. Or that's their thing that they went, oh, that's really good and I wish we could do more with it. You know, so as much flack as Season 4 gets, it is nice to see that it's not a universal thing.
That could be the one people came in on.
Exactly. You know, exactly. Poor them, but you know, but it's cool, you know. So I love Reiko's enthusiasm for the spirit idea, because it's just nice to see that Frontier hatred isn't you know, or hatred is maybe too strong of a word. Frowning upon. Yeah, let's go with that. Isn't universal. So then we finish up the comments section then with Justin's game on the Digivice tier list. Personally, I would say that I love the D-Arc. You get a Digimon Analyzer and you also get a compass to locate your partner Digimon if you get separated. Well, yeah, and the 2020 does that as well, as we talked about. I forgot to mention the Analyzer part in the video itself, but it just doesn't have the card slash functionality. But I just love the ability to card slash. It adds more strategy into battle, giving you offense, defense, or support. You could be more prepared for almost any situation depending on the cards you bring. Imagine, you know that Yu-Gi-Oh meme? Well, it's a meme now, but in the early days of Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, before like deck size limits were introduced, some MFer brought like this 200 card deck. And there's this image that's now a meme of like guys in suits and fedoras carrying this deck box like pallbearers.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking of that. I'm like, you just need to bring like 200 cards with you to every time you go into the mist to fight now. Like, what?
Hold on a second.
Hold on a sec. Let me rifle through. Wandering Soul says, I like that Frontier took a risk, even if it turned people off. Not my fave, but worth existing. Exactly. And that's one thing I always praise this franchise for, that it's never afraid to do something different, or, you know, it tries not to be samey, you know. Yeah. Like every show introduces a different mechanic. You know, Frontier was just your regular evolution. 02 gave us Armor and Jogress. Tamers gave us Card Slash and Biomer. Frontier gave us Spirits. Savers gave us the Digisoul mechanic. It also, you know, gave us Biohybrid, which is a take on Spirit Evolution. Cross Wars was the Super Robot show. Applemon was, well, every app has a monster that represents it, and then it's just a Digimon show.
I've seen a lot of people say that is a really good way to bring.
Yeah.
Who doesn't have a smartphone?
Yeah. And who
Who
doesn't
doesn't have apps for everything?
exactly apps for everything? Like I know, like
with
people that use Photoshop or on their iPad, or the drawing apps on their iPad more than their dedicated drawing tablet. You know, so it's a thing that does make sense, but
that's like data that will transfer into the digital world.
There you go.
So that's how it'll get in there, and that's why they apps.
Yeah. Takato had a shoebox full of cards. He couldn't have been carrying that around. No, the shoebox was always left in the slide in the park, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a stupid place to leave your prized possessions, unless you're like the only 4 kids in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust leaving a shoebox of cards in the park over the road.
No, but then again, you live in this country.
It still wouldn't. People are people. You know, like, awful people exist everywhere. Your country isn't exclusively good or bad. So I wouldn't, like, even if I was living in Shibuya, I wouldn't trust leaving my best cards in a slide. I don't, like, you know, unless like there's no one else in the neighborhood that uses that park. I don't even think I could then. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah. So it's not even near the apartment buildings. It's like it's, you know, it's. I know it wouldn't be for me. I mean, I get for story purposes, like, oh, they have a hideout, you know.
Yeah, like it's always in. It's have a treehouse out somewhere in the woods, but
Yeah.
other people can access it very easily.
Yeah, like I get it's a tropey thing, but I think it's a dumb idea. But yeah, so Appmon had, you know, every app in your phone is represented by some sort of mon. And then Ghost Game is, well, Digimon are coming into the real world and dicks to people.
Yeah, but don't they say it's because like holograms are a huge part of society now, and that's why the Digimon are coming out that way.
So the question is, do Appmon exist on a different plane from Digimon if they never show up again? Never watched Appmon yet, so I don't know if it's addressed. It's basically Digimon are mentioned in Appmon. They're like I've a clip up on the channel. There is like you'll have seen it because of the evolution comparison clips that I would have put up. Like Agumon does turn up in Appmon, but it's not Agumon as we know Agumon.
Yeah.
Basically, Haru has like this handheld Game & Watch thing, and the game is called Digital Monsters. And his Agumon is a character in that game.
Okay.
And there's references to adventure because Agumon talks about losing to Edamon 400 times and Vamdemon, 600 times. I can't remember the
so
actual
it's kind of
numbers.
like the other show.
Which?
Where they're like a...
Well, Tamers, yeah. It's similar to Tamers, like where, season 1 and 2
brain
were...
just stopped there. I went, other...
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is kind of a Tamers-y aspect to it in that regard, where, Digimon exists as a franchise in some respect, but they don't exist in that universe. And how they exist is very different to what we know generally. But, but it's so that is how it's addressed, and that's how they sort of so when Agumon does show up, and that image of Agumon and Gatchmon sharing chocolate has circled the internet. It's effectively a meme at this point. There is that image that floats around of the two of them sharing a chocolate bar. But it's basically just Digimon is a video game in the Applemon universe. And even then, at the end of that episode, it's just a little nod, exactly. even at the end of that episode, Haru takes up the game again. But guess what? That little game that he had is now an app.
Oh.
Because of course it is.
Yeah.
Because here, I mean, shock horror. See that little app there? That's the no, that's my banking app, not the one I want. This little app here is the app for this, and this little app here with the War Greymon on it, which I know you can't see, but trust me, there's a War Greymon there. That's the new Chinese mobile game, which I will do a video on. I'm not going to understand a word that's being said, but I want to do a video on it just to see what it plays like. So you know, this fighting game that used to be a Game and Watch handheld thing becoming an app, because of course it is. I mean, Street Fighter has an app. King of Fighters has an app. Every handheld video game, Mario has a fucking app. 2 of them, a running one and a racing one. Nothing doesn't have an app anymore. So this idea of Appmon aren't Digimon, bloody well hate it. I bloody hate it. But I won't harp on that for too long this week. I kind of went on a tangent. And any Appmon you'd like to see become Digimon of some sort of version of it? I would just like to see Appmon get incorporated into the card game. I would be happy enough with that, because the card game doesn't use levels in a traditional sense. It doesn't go child, adult, perfect, ultimate. It's like level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6. And the Appmon just level up the same way. So for child you have standard. So it's and then for adult then it's super. Then for perfect it's ultimate, which isn't confusing. And then for mega or ultimate you have god. So you just do that. You just do level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6, and maybe give them baby forms, you know, whatever. So I don't think there needs to be Digimon equivalents to Appmon, though there are 1 or 2, like Trailmon, the train, or Locomon is another one. Trailmon and Locomon, they have an app version called Reshamon. And Resha just means train. Yeah. So like that's their version. Garbimon has an Appmon version as well. I don't remember. I think it's I know. Yeah, it's not Trashmon, but it's because that's I think the dub name for Garbagemon or Garbimon. Yeah, so there is like an Appmon version of Garbimon, but I don't think I'd like to see that the other way around, because those are just winks and nods and references. Cool, you know. But I think if you just bring them into the card game and just treat them level 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 maybe, depending on how you work that one out, I think it's fine. You can basically do whatever you want with Digimon as long as you try to explain it. Since it's set in a way that basically whatever is possible if you manipulate the data. Yeah, exactly. For an example, an excuse I use when turning Digimons into cute girls is some data of a powerful Lotusmon got mixed into that Digimon. Yeah. Also, you know, data is horny, which is why we have Plutomon, I think her name is. Like, he's another one that is just basically, she's just basically wearing a bikini and some jewelry, but the jewelry looks like golden crowns. I think it's Jupitermon, might be Plutomon. One or the other. You know, and then you have things like Mervamon, Lilithmon, Anjuwamon, the original. You know, she like Anjuwamon is to the Digimon franchise what Dark Magician Girl is to Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah. You know, they've attempted to reinvent the wheel on it, but haven't really ever come quite as close. While Digimon's data code are binary. Yeah. And then it becomes tertiary and you get tri. Because that's what happened. 2's got mixed into all those 1s and 0s. Data is fun. Resha immediately just makes me think of Tokuger. Nice. Resha Sentai Tokyuger, very good show. It's the show that I wish Akiba Ranger was, because the concepts are very similar. They basically both run on the idea of imagination. So while on Tokyuger, it's played up more innocently. It's the power of imagination. That it helps you visualize what you want to achieve. In Akiba Ranger, because it's a parody show based at people like our age who grew up on older shows, it's delusions. So, imagination for the kids, delusions for the adults. But the concept is basically the same. So an Akiba Ranger Tokyuger crossover, holding out hope. Although the newest series, Zen Kaiger, it was found that in the toy prop for the Morpher, there's Akiba Ranger sounds. And I'm like, are you finally going to acknowledge it? Are we? Because it's the one they don't talk about.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole joke in episode Akiba Ranger where they're like, you mean we're the 35th Super Sentai? And they just immediately shut down, no, you're not official. Oh. Did we freeze? No. Are we good? No, I think we're okay. We're back.
Okay.
Internet said no. The magic of live television. So, do I need to do my diatribe again? Let's see. Digimon. Also, would be totally down for Gatchamon and the rest to turn up in the card game, though probably won't be for a while with the slowdown and booster releases. Yeah, but they're putting the Ghost game into Booster 8, so we're getting Hero and Gamamon and all those cards in Booster 8, along with cards for Daisuke and Ken and all of that, so it's not impossible. I just hope it's not a case where they do it only because they've run out of ideas.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be so late in the card game's life. Basically, don't treat them as the black sheep of the franchise. Yeah, that's all I ever ask, you know. And that goes for like Frontier, 02, you know. There's elements of those shows I don't like, but you know, it's not healthy to act like they don't exist because of it. So waiting for it still. Wait, Yami, waiting for what? The card game or my ramble? I'll go into it again, just in case.
Waiting for the blue screen.
Waiting for the blue screen. Oh, is that what that was? Oh, okay. Damn it, Yami. The closest.
Don't wish death on the potato.
Please don't. Please don't. This might be the last or the second last podcast we run off this laptop. Please don't wish death upon it just yet. Please. Christ. Right, so I kind of went on a thing there, and because of the freeze, I don't know if it was picked up, but Kurina mentioned Resha immediately makes me think of Tokyuger. And I was saying that Tokyuger is the Sentai show I wish Akiba it's freezing again. Nope. Okay, we're good. So
if you're looking at me, it's
oh no, it was doing the spinny thing.
oh.
But Tokyuger is the Sentai show I wish Akiba Ranger could have become. Because they both run off the same idea. Tokyuger uses imagination to get its point across, and but for Akiba Ranger, because it's a parody show, it's the power of delusions. So the kids get imagination, and adults get you're just having a delusion. And so it's the same concept. So a crossover between the two would work perfectly. But Akiba Ranger is very self-aware. So there's a point in the first episode where it says, where the main character's like, you mean we're the 35th Super Sentai, which at the time would have been not Ryu Soldier, Kyoruger, or Dino Charge as we got it. And like they're their head of operations just shuts them down. It's like, no, you're unofficial. You're not part of the Super Sentai lineage. And it's just like, oh, well then we need to work to be official. We'll work so hard they'll have no choice but to recognize us and make us an official Sentai. And then the toy for the morpher for the new show Zen Kaiger was found to have Akiba Ranger sounds in it. So I'm just like, please acknowledge Akiba Ranger. It's the black sheep of the series by design. Please, please. Please let us acknowledge Akiba Ranger. But that was kind of my rant, and then I noticed things had frozen, so I wasn't sure if that had been picked up or not. So, oh well. May your laptop be protected by Yggdrasil. Have you met Yggdrasil in this franchise? It's more likely to possess me and blow it up itself. But
who would protect them?
I don't know. The Royal Knights, no. I don't know. But look, again, this may be the second last or the last podcast we do on this laptop, depending on how soon we get the new computer. So please don't wish death upon it just yet. We just need it to survive another week at the most. So like we're done with the comments, and we did talk about the show. I think Sleek did give opinions on the episode when they came in, so go back. Azulongmon? Yeah.
He seemed nice.
He seemed about the only God, what was he called? That was his Japanese. That was his dub name. What was he called in the Japanese? Big Blue Thunder Dragon. Agumon Evolution. Probably Quinlongmon or something. Knowing this franchise, wait, that might be the big Phoenix monster from Tamers.
It's my war game.
It's my war game all right. No. Oh, no Diablomon. No Seirumon, maybe. I'm gonna look it up. Sure, I'm not afraid to Google on stream.
Right, that's today's episode was pretty good, but it was.
Oh, I was right. His name was Kinglongmon.
Oh.
Quinlongmon. Yeah. I guess Azu as in Azure because he's blue. And then Long is dragon. So yeah, that makes sense. Also, he's quite long because he's a dragon. I wish Yggdrasil would be written well in the anime. Closest one we got was Sabers, and that was kind of short. Yeah. Like, Yggdrasil is a good concept for how Digimon works, like it being basically a supercomputer. But yeah. Anyway.
When you said he's long.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we thought he was.
Oh yeah, Gromon, yeah.
Because he grew. When I said that, you were like, yeah, that's what I used to think.
I used to think that as well, yeah. He went from Gilmon to Growmon as opposed to Growmon. So I'm kind of glad, yeah, dub name changes can be for the better when they fill words in. But I give up on the franchise if that ever happens. I don't want Precure in my Digimon, okay? We already got that with the Mimi Evolution episode in 2020. They before Lilymon becomes Rosemon, they quite literally say the Precure thing of purity, beauty, and whatever else. It's literally the phrase from Precure. I have no shame in using dub names, but like most shows and franchises, the purists are creeping in. Oh, well, that's going to happen with the internet. Well, it's a mix of things, I think. I think with the internet and more people getting into things, you do get a lot more of ooh dub kind of things.
Yeah.
But I think as well, with the shows not being dubbed anymore, a lot of the Japanese terminology is just holding over because that's what's being put out. Like, I would probably be more... Like, I jump between terms for, like, rookie, child, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It just...
Sometimes I jump between it because subtitles are telling me
Yeah.
they're using the dub terms in the subtitles.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like... You know what I mean?
No, I get you. Yeah. They're
But
using the
they're,
dub terminology for the...
in the subtitles.
in the
like,
subtitles,
it's
yeah.
just- So I'll say something to you. Oh dear. Jokingly.
Oh, of course, yeah. The only one I'm ever really insistent on using one term over the other is Ultimate and Mega. Because otherwise it's just a cluster. Because again, Ultimate is Mega in the Japanese version. It's perfect in Appmon. Or it's perfect in the English dub. Where if you just say perfect for Ultimate and Mega for Mega, at least people know what you're talking about. I like to say the dub name too. Yeah, I think like I've just gotten used to watching it in Japanese now because nothing's being dubbed anymore. That you know, I will say Vandemon out of habit now. Even if I read my Otismon, my brain says Vandemon. Yeah. Jesus.
Exactly an hour after the last time I said the time.
My co-host is a clock. Clockmon? Oh no! Please, I don't have much time left in this world anyway. Please don't steal it. Alright. So, chat, we've kind of yammered on for like the better part of 3 hours here. This episode and what we're leading into next week, how are you guys feeling about that? Hello, yeah. Switching at this stage, I think it would just confuse my mind now, and that's fair. Yeah, that is totally fair. Yeah. You want that? All right, let's see if we have a Clockmon in the chat. If Appmon gets a dub, I would like the dub name to be based on AI. There was a tweet about the characters' names being based on AI and book writers about AI. Yeah, that's true. Like Haru is Hal from 20,000 Leagues? No.
No.
The HAL 9000, what is that? Yeah. But anyway, Haru is a corruption of Hal, and you can even see that, and that didn't click for me until I think it's the third ending, because it's like a birthday celebration for him.
Yeah.
And the cake says "Happy Birthday, Hal."
Oh, I didn't
And I
realize
went,
that.
"Oh."
But I'm pretty sure you had told me that.
Oh, yeah.
So.
So that's what it clicked for me.
Thankfully, it's pumpkins and oh my god, turnip man, terrifying.
Yeah, a turn-up version of Pumpkinmon would be bloody horrifying. That's why we need it. It's not the Digimon we deserve, but it's the Digimon we need right now. But yeah, so like Hal is like Haru comes from Hal, which is based on HAL 9000. And then like Haru's crush is obviously AI. You know, it's love, but it's also AI. Eri Karan is also based on they're all based on AI scientists. Eugene comes from Eugene something. So they're all based on AI developers and scientists and things like that. So it's good thematic naming. 2001: A Space Odyssey, not 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Yeah, 2001.
I knew Odyssey was somewhere.
Yeah. Mario Odyssey?
Mhm.
That'd be a different game. But yeah, no, it's good thematic naming, but thankfully pumpkins and not. I do like the Halloween episode.
Oh.
I'm psyched for Pumpkinmon and then doing a straight up Halloween episode for the actual real life Halloween next weekend. Yeah, I mean, we haven't had a dedicated Halloween episode since Applemon, so I'm looking forward to just a dedicated Halloween episode. It's gonna be fun. Oh, will we make a turnip? Okay.
Yeah. Really, we have a bigger week.
We just stick it on the head. Just stick it on the head. Just replace the head of something. Yeah. So. Yeah. Would that be too heavy? Okay, we'll work on that. We'll work on that. I'm just imagining old Sophie glaring at a turnip version of Pumpkinmon. Your head's like a turnip. I've always hated turnips. Oh. And Taimon is literally Zawardo. Yeah. Oh, have you met the Gimp Zippermon yet?
Feel I could remember that?
Yeah, okay, that's a no. Okay, that's later. Yeah.
Feel like I was hurting someone.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, let me know when you get to Gimp Zippermon. Yeah. I think his name is just Zipmon. But, yeah, basically.
What app is that?
I think it's to represent zip files.
Right.
So it's like a zip, like a...
Oh no,
win,
I got to the copy paste.
Oh, Copypemon?
Copypemon.
Oh yeah, Copypemon.
Copypemon. Yeah.
Copypemon. Yeah.
Because I remember not complaining, being like, that's not an app.
That's
Is
a
there
it's a
something?
function.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it's not
But sure, that's fine.
Dezipmon. His name is Dezipmon. Yeah, basically. And I'm not even going to show you a picture. I'm going to wait until you get to it. I'm gonna let you get to that naturally.
All I can think about now is the Rubberman our story.
Oh no. Oh, I wished Onmon's full evolution line was in the anime. Yeah, but we got Offmon instead, so.
Cute. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Pumpkin dressing up.
Pumpkins and dressing up. Yeah, that's.
I'll be very
That's valid.
disappointed if episode.
Oh, there have to be.
Yeah. Oh, that was so cute. Aussie dog in Natmon. There was another one. I can't remember what he was wearing. Took pictures and posted.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
I also took a picture of the parrot that I was talking about.
Oh. Yeah. Go follow Meg on Twitter.
But yeah, I'm watching Atmon at the moment.
I guess the fans prefer things to be off than on. Well.
Well. But yeah, I live tweet all the episodes.
Yeah. So Meg is currently doing a watch along of Applemon over on Twitter, and she's live tweeting her responses to the episodes. So it's definitely worth checking out Meg over on Twitter for, a Digimon newbie who's really just thrown themselves headlong into this to put up with me basically. But she's still very new to this, so definitely go support her over on Twitter.
Sometimes I'll tweet something and AJ is just like, oh no, why did you say that? I've never noticed that.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
How could you compare it to that? Because that's what it looks like. Oh.
Yeah.
It does.
So that's where I think that's where the dynamic of this podcast is really going to change going forward, because I'll be taking this franchise with me to the grave, basically. I'm that indentured to it at this stage, where Meg is coming in kind of fresh faced. She's watched season 1, season 2, Try, Kizuna. She's currently making her way through Applemon. We're starting to watch Ghost Game.
Right. And the laptop.
Yeah.
I think I got to 12.
Okay.
I already did start over because the laptop said no for a while, and then I tried to go back to it, and the laptop was like, okay, and then again we got to like the same point. It'd been so long in between the 2 watches. I went round, start again because I already know.
Okay.
And then I ended up watching the whole lot again, and then the laptop just went, no more. That's all you're watching.
Brilliant. So look, I think we'll get Appmon, Hackmon, and at least a hacking Digimon. Yeah. Unlike Hookmon. I think we should just get used to calling him Hookmon going forward. Which comes from Haku, which means white. So they didn't just call him Shiromon. Sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, look, I think we'll definitely wrap it up there then. Chat, this has been super fun. I hope you've enjoyed this new take on everything. We will be back next week with episode 4 of Ghost Game, our Halloween episode. At some point during the week, I will get a video up on the new mobile game that is exclusively for the Chinese market at the moment, but I kind of want to tinker with it for a few minutes to an hour and just see what it's like graphically, how it plays, etc. So we'll definitely get this up at some point during the week.
Next week we'll be
Yami's guilt tripping Meg here. But I hope you guys had fun. I hope the change to the dynamic is something you guys are looking forward to as a newbie sort of starts learning more about things and is watching a show fresh with, I don't want to say veterans, that sounds...
You are, I would...
Yeah, I don't know. A veteran sounds a bit too far up my own arse.
Veteran just means older and long.
Senpai.
My Digimon senpai. That sounds so weird.
Okay. Let's maybe not. Let's not do
totally
that.
Gonna use that.
Yeah, that
You
I kind of
shouldn't have said
cringed.
anything.
No, I kind of cringed when I said it, right? So
Yeah.
I got to pass on that. I kind of cringed as I said it. So
You're gonna forget all about it, and you're gonna no.
yeah, it is gonna be one of them things, isn't it? It is gonna be one of. Right. Also, during the week as well, Devimon here will have evolved into a Balmon, and I'll be able to use that Balmon to evolve Kano Vicemon into a Mega level. So we'll have a video up for that during the week as well, because after champion level on the Gamamon Dim card, everything's a Jogress. So you're basically raising 2 monsters up for the sake of 1. And I learned something very interesting as a result of that, which I'll talk about in the evolution video itself, because it's a mechanic these things did that I wasn't even aware of. Like, I knew the Jogress was a thing, but there's something else related to that Jogress that I went, oh! Yeah, so we'll talk about that later. Now, super late as in it's gone 1 a.m. Good thing I'm off next week. Oh, well, that's good. You deserve time off, Yami.
But yeah,
no,
time next
if
week.
we're on time next week, we'll probably be finishing around the usual 12-ish mark. I don't know.
we'll have to.
I'll actually have work next week, yes. We won't be able to dilly-dally too long on it, so... Cool.
And we also won't have 3.
No, that's true. We won't have 3 videos worth of comments to catch up on either. It's awesome. Alrighty. Well, we are done. Chat, thank you so much for joining us for this watch along and review of Digimon Ghost Game. And, I say this every week. Hanging out with you guys on a Sunday is the best part of a Sunday. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank my new co-host for joining me this weekend and
You're
not
very welcome.
just hiding in a corner stealing my snacks.
I
Awesome.
can still do that.
Yeah, probably. Especially if the streams go back to just
Yeah.
the regular live. You know, we'll work that out once
Yeah,
we
we'll
get the new
figure it
computer. But cool. Be sure to thumbs up, especially for Meg. This is her first episode, so officially. So give a thumbs up for Meg and subscribe if you haven't already. We will see you next week for more Ghost Game. Until then, look after yourselves. Do take care. Stay hydrated. Go drink water. It's 1 a.m. You need to drink water. And so do we. I'm not saying we don't. Them especially. And we'll see you next week, guys. Take care. Done.